Check 1 2.
So yeah, you were before this. I had like a storage or like a warehouse where we made candles and stuff, and the place was kind of big. So that's where we started the podcast. But then rent was a little bit too expensive, and we weren't making much with the candles, so it didn't really make sense to have the spot.
Yeah.
So I decided to do it in my living room now, until we
This is nice though. You get the home feel. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
good.
like it more too because it's more like casual. I think it's like more comfortable, more laid back.
For sure. I mean, this is where conversations happen, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Good deal, man. Well, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thank you for jumping in. I know your wife couldn't make it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first time, what's up?
I said we'll have to reschedule.
I know, right? For sure. Yeah, I'll love to have her in. So the first time I met you guys was, I think, early 2023. It was like the first pop up I ever did.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was talking to a customer about candles. They were asking questions, and your wife popped out of nowhere. So hey, like, what is this or whatever, like really energetic and stuff. I was like, oh, people want to know about my candles. So I started talking to your wife about it and explaining, and then I see the phone. I'm like, oh damn, you're recording.
Yeah.
And then I just got nervous, because I'm like, okay, it's a different mentality, when you're talking to a customer versus like people recording you and stuff.
Sure.
I was like, please, Eduardo, don't mess up. And the thing, it came out well. I mean, I didn't stutter or anything like that, so that was good.
That's good. That's my whole life, man. My lady is behind me. She's a documentary filmmaker,
Really?
So, yeah, always on the spot. But, yeah, we met. Was that pop-up behind the taco spot?
Yeah.
Is that the first time that we met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first pop-up ever, so I was like super excited. Like a couple of days before, I had to like buy a tent and like the tables and all this stuff I needed because I had never done one. So it was a nice experience. It was our first pop-up out there,
Yeah. It was a good event, and Betsy makes excellent food, so it's good. It's good being over there.
So she has the sandwich place, and then now she has the taco place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried the tacos?
Yeah,
they're really good because they're like homemade tortillas.
Yeah, I got a problem. I tore up a plate of birria last week, so I go in there when I can,
Okay.
Yeah, get some more chata and everything. So shout out to them, and yeah, it was good to meet you there with the candles. I remember the names that you had of the candles were significant to me because they had some, philosophy behind them. You had, names that were like Greek mythology and things like that.
Yeah, so I do love Greek mythology. I'm not an expert. I didn't go to school for it, but I do like, the stories of every god.
Yeah.
How like one god is like intertwined with another one, and like kind of how the stories get combined.
Sure.
For example, Mira or Smyrna is like the mother of Adonis. So I have both of those names, and I try to match the sense with the gods and goddesses and stuff. Obviously, not all of them will like match, but I try to like make it all work out and stuff.
Yeah. That's what's up. Are you familiar with Prometheus?
Nope.
Okay, so
I've probably heard about it, but
yeah, you might enjoy this. So Prometheus gave mankind fire is the story.
Okay.
Right? So this is significant to candles because like candles represent the furthest evolution of like technology. So what happened is Prometheus, for some reason, loved mankind and gifted mankind fire, and then Zeus was thoroughly upset about this, so he condemned him to like his own hell, where a bird would come and pick out his liver every day, and then his liver would regenerate, and then it would come and pick his liver out. Because eventually what happened is because mankind had fire, then we would evolve, get so sophisticated that we'd stop believing in gods, right?
Okay.
So like it was like a curse, to give mankind fire, but then a blessing to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool, to connect mythology and candles in that light.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I've heard of the story, but it never crossed my mind or occurred to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a cool like sci-fi flick, Prometheus, and it's they find like an alien, so it's kind of this. It's like opening Pandora's box, right? So, anyways, look into that. You might get a kick out of that.
I'll definitely check it out.
Are you burning candles right now?
I had that. I also make waxes, so I had
Okay.
that wax melter on. I just turned it off because it got a little strong.
No, it smells nice in here.
Yeah.
And you can hear it. I'm sick also, right? So like my senses are a little off, but it smells nice. It's good, man. It's a good aroma, good vibe in here. So
Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, that's one
yeah.
of my favorite scents. It's santal and cardamom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So are
Yeah.
you still doing pop-ups and selling candles, or what's going on?
Well, I'm still selling candles. I just added TikTok shop. I just
Oh, cool.
finally was able to figure that out. I added some candles. I've been trying to go live for the last like week or so. I just haven't had the time to
Yeah.
do so. So I'm gonna start pushing that as much as I can. Pop-ups I'm not really doing at the moment because I mean it's raining, windy and stuff. So it's mainly summertime where we do pop-ups.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and then we were at the Marine County Fair last year. I'm trying to do
Saw
that
you-
this year again.
Saw
So
you there.
it was super fun, dude.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool event, and it's good to see it come back, post COVID.
Yeah.
Because it was gone for a while, and that's like a staple out here. So, it was good.
Was that the first? No.
No, that's not the first year back, but I'm
No.
just saying in general,
Yeah.
like it's good that it's
Yeah,
been brought
exactly.
back, and that's cool that you were there.
Yeah, it was fun. I got to meet a couple of different vendors. Like next to me there was this guy like that had his own clothing brand and stuff.
Uh huh.
And I that just brought back memories of when I had a clothing brand and how I like try to make it work and stuff. But he actually knows graphic design
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So he made his own designs and things like that. And that's something that I was lacking.
Yeah.
So I got to meet him, and then like there was a couple other vendors that it was cool. It was fun.
Do you know about Fiverr, the website Fiverr?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Fiverr's a good way. You can get like cheap digital creation there.
Well, I used Fiverr for one of the logos I got.
Okay.
I told the guy, hey, I don't know graphic design.
Uh-huh.
This is the concept, the idea that I have. And he was like, oh, no problem. I got you. Give me a couple of hours. I'll make something for you. I wanted like a roaring lion.
Yeah.
And I wanted a certain way. And he was like, oh, I'm halfway there. We're almost done. And he sent me like half of the lion. I was like, I'm no graphic designer, but I don't think that's how that works.
Did you?
He just sent me like half of it, just like, oh, here's half of like what we're done so far.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. So he sent me the lion, and it was nice. I liked it, but then I was like, let me search online, and then I just like, how on Google you could use a picture, to search on the web and stuff, and the lion was like everywhere, so it wasn't original. And I'm like, dude, I just paid, I think it was like $110. It wasn't much, but I'm like, dude, you're just taking advantage of people that don't know graphic design and stuff,
I'm sorry you had that experience. Did you pay him half the bill? I would have paid him half the bill, like.
Well, I mean, I was just, anxious to get it done. So I didn't really think about it. I think, could you make partial payment first?
Yeah, but I'm saying that if you get like half the image, you're like, here's half the payment.
Well, he
like,
sent me obviously the full image once he was done, but during the process, he just sent me half of the picture. And it looked like it was loading, I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. And like, it was just funny.
That's no good.
Yeah, but it was, it is what it is,
Yeah, it definitely will. I mean, it's good that you're running a podcast. This is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was a learning experience. And like, I don't know if you saw my previous podcast, but I briefly talked about how the clothing brand that I was trying to build really taught me how to manage this a little bit better. And that's one example. I'm not gonna trust just anybody on Fiverr. I had to do my due diligence, maybe pay a little bit more premium price, see like more what's it called, trustworthy people to work with.
For sure. I mean, it's all about the network nowadays.
Yeah, true.
So like there's different avenues, and Fiverr's just one of those things. So hopefully you continue on that route, and then you get some of the gear, and then you have guests, and it all is pay it forward marketing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's good for you for finding these different endeavors, man, because it's easy to follow the status quo and just go to work and do that.
True. Yeah.
So now you're doing your own thing, so keep doing it, man. Let me encourage that. So,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking about how ironically I'm doing a podcast, but I consider myself a shy person.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in school and stuff, and you had to do presentations and things like that,
Uh-huh.
I would go up in front of class and I would start like shaking and stuttering, and I felt my face really hot, you know.
Yeah.
And ironically, I'm running a podcast now.
Well, good for
You know,
you.
trying to
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Well, public speaking is the number one fear in society,
yeah,
you know, so it's that's a common thing, and it's difficult to get used to, but the like with anything in life, the more that you do it, the easier it will become. You
hmm
just have to go through the initial process and trust that the initial pain won't be the end result, right?
exactly, yeah.
So that's cool, man.
And that's the hardest part to do, you know, like try to start, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
always.
yeah,
That's yeah. So it's good. So, um, I heard you say that this is the first episode of 2024,
yeah,
right?
dude.
All
You're my
right.
first guest. Well,
Hey.
I did a small podcast a couple of weeks ago, but you're like my
Hmm.
first guest of 2024.
Awesome. Well, I'm honored to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to kick off this year. This year's significant for me because I was born in '88,
Uh-huh.
and Chinese New Year just happened,
Mhm.
and every 12 years this is the year of the dragon,
Mhm.
and so now this is another year of the dragon. It's the third rotation for me, so I'll be 36, and you know, so it's like 360.
Mhm.
So it's cool to kick off this new year and then be here in this time frame. So
That's dope.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw you changed 88 on your Instagram. I was wondering
yeah,
what that was.
yeah. It's just, you know, the year of the
Now I
dragon.
know.
I'm trying
All right, for
to
sure.
trying to put my blessings in order and have a good year in front of me. You know, so that's what it is. So I'm excited to be the first guest and you know have a good conversation and bring some content to people.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Are you really into astrology and like all that
No,
stuff? No.
no, not much. It's just cool that
Okay. Yeah,
you
okay.
know
Okay.
you're the dragon and like you know I'm here. But no, no, I'm a Taurus. They would tell me, but you know if I read a horoscope, if you didn't tell me what the title was, I think all of them are applicable, right?
Uh-huh.
You're like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree
Uh,
with you.
so it's just it's a significant year for me. You know, I'm into numbers, so like 36 is important. So you know, and just the new year as well. So it's good.
Are you into numerology and all that stuff? Are you aware of all knowledgeable?
How so?
Like for example, your like life path. Do you know how that works?
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know either. I was gonna ask you.
Okay. Yeah.
I
No.
thought you
I'm like,
knew.
all right. I'm ready to
No,
look.
no, no. I was gonna ask you because I
Uh-huh.
thought you knew and stuff. Because apparently, if you add all your numbers, the number you get is like your life path, and then
Oh.
each number has a different meaning or representation, and then you'll go and see what your number is
Interesting.
and all that stuff.
Okay.
I don't know mine, so I was gonna ask you because I thought
Yeah.
I
No.
thought you said you were into numbers. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. It's cool. So I'm just I'm excited. I mean, it's still we're almost in you know the third month of the year, right? But I mean, Happy New Year to you, and it's you know I try to carry that momentum through each of my days, not just like New Year, new me, but just you know everything's an opportunity. You know, it's
Yeah.
always a fresh start. So that's how I'm trying to look at things.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife about that not too long ago. How yeah, it's New Year and stuff, and everybody gets excited like the first month or so, you know, trying to get their resolutions going and stuff. But I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep on pushing as far as we can. You know, like let's be optimistic and have that mentality as far as we can, because you know, like
Yeah.
once you know mid-year comes, you forget about all your resolutions and stuff. You know,
Right.
so I'm just like just let's try to keep that mindset the
100%.
whole year. You know.
Whole year.
Yeah.
It's not like a rewind, rinse and repeat. You know,
Exactly.
it's just, you stay steady.
Yeah.
And as you know, with you know the evolutions and progressions of the learnings you've been going through, running your own businesses, you know, hosting your own podcast, it's just steady progression is what it's all about, right?
True.
So yeah, it's good. But nevertheless, I like to carry the good energy with me. and,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
So, where are you? Are you Novato native or?
San Rafael.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I was born in Santa Clara, but I was raised in San Rafael.
Okay.
I went to San Rafael High School. So I've been out here the majority of my life. I left for a while to go to school, but I came back. It's funny coming over here. We did live in Novato for a number of years. So, you know, I've I've been up here a little bit. It's cool you're over here by Nevada Boxing too. I got some buddies over there.
Yeah. Sissy is great.
Yeah, shout out to Kenny punching me in my head. So, so anyhow, yeah, San Rafael was born and raised.
So you're 88, right?
88, yeah.
So you graduated 07?
06.
06, okay.
Yeah.
I went to SR too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
08.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Who are you cool with in 08?
I don't remember, dude.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't keep in touch with a lot of those people, you know.
Yeah, I don't really either. I
Yeah.
was just wondering if I knew anybody. I didn't know you went to SR. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we probably
We had to cross paths.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
well, actually, I went to Madrone the last 2 years. So.
Nice. Yeah. I see. Yeah. So my folks live close to the high school, so I could hear it when I was a little kid. I could like open my window and like hear the game.
Oh, cool.
And that's back when like SR was good at sports. So
okay.
You know, we tried, right?
Yeah.
So,
Did you play any sports in high school? What'd you play?
Yeah. I wrestled and I played lacrosse. So I started the lacrosse team there in 02, and then our coach left in 06 when we were all seniors, so that was like a significant thing. And then I wrestled initially in middle school, and then I wrestled. I restarted the program. It stopped for like a year or two. So in 02, I started the wrestling program there, and I was one of the captains of SR Wrestling. And so yeah, I wrestled 3 years there.
That's dope. How was the wrestling team back in the day?
It was tough. It was tough. I was a little tight in high school. I was one of the smaller kids.
Okay.
So like I wrestled to like gain respect. The lowest weight class is 103s. So I wrestled 103s. So I was fortunate enough to letter my freshman year. So you had to like wrestle off to like get the spot. Our team was smaller relative to other teams. Like Terra Linda was the powerhouse at that time. They hadn't lost a meet, which is like a team event in like 12 years or something. Like they were just unstoppable, and they would bring 3 squads. Like they would bring a freshman, a JV, and a varsity squad. So they would run 30 to 50 people, right? Because there's 12 weight classes, at least when I wrestled. So we would have like a ragtag group of like 10, 15. So like we'd start with a heavy bunch. Same thing with like New Year. We'd start with a bunch of people, and then they'd go through like a couple like hell weeks, of like wrestling. That I'm just not going to do this anymore. So it always like the pack would thin.
Yeah.
But it was good. It taught me a lot. It taught me there's always another level and like a switch. You can just flip a switch and like go for something. So
okay.
You got to be a little crazy to wrestle, but I loved it. It was a great experience for me.
Do you still keep in touch with any of your teammates or not?
The wrestlers? No, not really. Everybody kind of went their own ways. So I still use those skill sets though, obviously, in like jiu-jitsu. I think jiu-jitsu is the next translation of that. So that's why I went that way. But no, just like you, I don't really keep in contact with too many folks from high school.
Okay. So, you've been an athlete basically most of your life then. When did you get into jiu-jitsu?
About 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I always wanted to, you call it rolling, like when you fight somebody in jiu-jitsu, you call it rolling, right? So I always wanted to roll. And in college, I went up to school in Chico, and there was a local gym I wanted to go to, but it was kind of expensive, and I was a broke college student, so I couldn't afford it, but I always followed it, and I was always interested in it. So about 6 years ago, it's funny, I was lifting at the YMCA, and the YMCA in Terra Linda was getting remodeled. So then they were like, go to the one in Hamilton. I'd never been to the one in Hamilton. And I'd been researching schools at the time, and I was driving up to Hamilton, and I passed by North Bay Jiu-Jitsu. For some reason, it didn't pop up on Google when I was looking at schools, right? I was like, what is that? And it was a Friday night, and I went to the gym, and I was just thinking about it, and I was like, I need to pop in there, right? And what's random is I went back in there on that Friday night, and I met the owner, Trifon. And I was like, hey, do you want to roll? And he's like, yeah, you can, sign the waiver, come in Monday, and we can start. And I was like, I have my gym clothes, and I was like, no, let's go right now. He's like, you want to roll right now? So we stepped on the mat, and he whooped my ass. And And at that point, I was like, I need to get involved in this,
Okay.
you know. So that was 6 years ago, um, and that began the process.
So you're a blue belt, right?
I'm a blue belt now. Yeah.
So
So to interrupt for a sec, yeah, I took 3 years off. I got hurt in
okay.
COVID and I had a baby, and like, you know, not intentionally to step away, but just, you know, life. So now I'm back. So I've been training like 3 4 years.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, did it really take you 6 years from white to blues? The next one up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at North Bay they have green, which is an intermediary belt, but it's the second belt in most schools is a blue belt. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Talk to Trifon, and you know, I got the slow roll.
Okay, cool. So, how long were you a white belt?
um,
Like, how long is that process? Because
yeah.
white belt, you get 3 stripes or 4
No,
stripes,
no.
or how does that work?
Every belt in jiu-jitsu. So you know, there's 5 major belts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get a white belt, a blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, black belt. All of them are 4 stripes. So you get 4 stripes, and then you get the next belt. So it depends on, you know, different things, but each belt could be, or each stripe rather, could be, you know, a couple months at a time. So it really depends on how often you train, how much you adopt the technique and learn and apply all of
Oh,
it.
okay, okay.
You know, so to answer your question, I don't know how long I was a white belt. I was a green belt for a long time.
Mm.
Um, so it's been good. It's been really good. So I got promoted to my blue belt a couple months ago. So I'm proud of that. But it's just one step in the path. So I got a long road ahead of me, but I'm staying steady on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on, I guess, like you said, your dedication and how much effort you put into it, so you could like get to the next step, I guess.
Yeah, it's jiu-jitsu is a language for like all intents and purposes, because if you got, you know, God forbid you get into an altercation with somebody, and if they've been training for a long time, like they know what they're doing on the ground, and if you don't know what you're doing on the ground, it doesn't translate, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
it's a language, and it takes a long time to learn how to speak it, so to speak. So you can learn a lot of technique, but then applying it is like a whole different thing. So it takes a while.
Yeah, so I trained jujitsu for about a month.
Nice. Yeah.
Because I used to go to Marine MMA,
Yep.
and I was doing the kickboxing classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, I want to try jujitsu.
Yeah.
I tried it for, like I said, about a month, and it
Yeah.
was just like really like you're clueless. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. It's
Everybody
tough.
makes it look so smooth and
Uh-huh.
simple. You get there, it's like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things. It's nice because jujitsu will teach you that anything worthwhile in life takes a lot of effort and hard work. It will humble you every time.
Mm.
So that's what's nice about it. You know, I thought I was kind of slick because I was a wrestler, you know, and I went in, I rolled with Tripon, and it was like felt like a wet blanket. Like no matter where I went, there was, you know, I was covered. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I couldn't get free. So I was like, I need to train this because this is not appropriate, right?
Yeah, I mean it's different. I mean, what's it called? Wrestling is, you might think you like you're good and stuff, but it's
Right.
just like different,
Yeah.
a whole different sport, right?
It translates differently. I mean, it's similar and it's helpful in a lot of regards, but like
Mm.
one of the main things with wrestling is somebody can be on your back, and that's perfectly fine. And then also you can't be on your back, right? So like in jiu-jitsu, if somebody's on your back, that's like the worst position because they're just going to choke you out, right? You're most vulnerable around your
Mm.
neck. So then on the flip side, like if you want to be defensive, you're lying on your back in a position that's called guard,
Mm-hmm.
and that essentially would mean that you're getting pinned in wrestling. So you got to kind of flip your mindset a little bit,
Oh,
and
okay.
so those things are different. And then like the pacing is different, but it's really helpful because, you know, tactile engagement and just, you know, grappling in general, like it will help the more you do it, right? You get used to it because it's a lot, like you understand, like you know, you go in there and you're like, which direction is up, you know?
Yeah.
And so hopefully you get back, man.
I've been thinking about it. But I don't know. I'm really hesitant to
Yeah.
to make it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shameless plug, North Bay Jiu Jitsu. Every day 6:30, get in there.
Is it like Monday through Friday or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got Saturday and Sunday classes too. They got what's really cool is that the school's evolved, and now there's striking, there's Muay Thai, there's kickboxing, there's weightlifting, there's a little bit of wrestling, and then there's boxing. So there's judo now as well.
Whoa.
Yeah, so like everything's there. They expanded the facility. They've got a bunch, many more mats now, so a bunch more teachers. So shout out to everybody there that's been putting in the work. It's really cool to see the community. You know, it's a good thing. You know, I'm a father. I have 3 sons. 2 of my sons are old enough to train, so both of them are there. So it's good to take them there and just like have the community. You know,
Exactly.
it's a safe and welcoming space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big is that school? Like about how many members?
It's a
pretty big?
couple hundred. I
Really?
don't know. Yeah, yeah. It's been
Wow.
growing. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's awesome, and it's like to go in and see the next evolution is like the kids, you know, and like hopefully they stay the path and then grow up. It's just a good thing for development, really.
Yeah, and it builds confidence too, I guess, and all that stuff.
You'll see very quickly a young kid that trains within 2 months they're like a whole different person.
Really.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, like you said, you were shy, and then now you run a podcast, right?
Yeah.
And now I want to have conversations, you know. So it's just one of those things. Like you get used to it and you get familiar, and so yeah, it's really good. So you know, the main thing is if you're gonna train any school, for anybody listening, is how a school treats their white belts is like the most important thing, right? Because that's the next generation in the evolution of the sport. So it's really important if you go somewhere and you're trying it out, that you make sure that people are very respectful and welcoming to you. And if they're not, find another gym. Nowadays, there's so many that you could find a different school, right? So if you're listening to this and you haven't trained, go train. That's my 2 cents.
All right. I think we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
solid.
I've been wanting to. I just, like I said, I
Yeah.
haven't really, take that step, but I really want to.
Yeah. If you can go 2 times a week, 3 is best, but if you can go 2 times a week, then it's worthwhile. If you go once a week, it's not really enough. Like you got to start to learn that language, right? So yeah, do it, man.
Yeah, I'll really look into. Dude, trust me, I've gone to their website several times.
Oh yeah,
Just I'm like, dude, like let me do it.
yeah. Just walk on there, man. You know, there's people got extra geese, and like just go. You know, just start. I mean, with anything, right?
Yeah.
Just start. Like that's a good like mantra or motto to have. Just start.
Yeah, I had this guy on our podcast. His name's Justin. He has this thing. It's just speak up.
Yeah.
And his whole thing is just do it. Just go for whatever is
Mhm.
that you're trying to do. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Because then you just dwell on doing it, and you never get to do it. You know.
Yeah. You can spin the tires all day.
Yeah.
Just gotta put that thing in drive and go somewhere.
Exactly. And then like you said, eventually, like of course it's gonna be hard at the beginning, but as you the more you do it, the better you'll get and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just need a little encouragement and keep going forth. So that's
Yeah.
good, man. Yeah.
So you said you go 3 times a week, right?
If you can, 3 times a week, you know. So I'll try to be in there 2 or 3 times a week.
Is it different times for the kids, or how does that work?
Yeah. It's different times for the kids.
So you're there like all day.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like live there half the time. Yeah, but for me now, I'm more so like a tour guide at this point in time because it's about my boys, it's about my sons, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm there, and I like to compete and all of that, but it's setting the example for my sons so they see what it is, and then for their development. So and they're getting good, man. So I'm in trouble. They're little now, so it's manageable. But when they get big,
Yeah, and that's the best time to get them going when they're little, because they could get the hang of it
right.
since the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just a matter of cultivating the relationship with it because I don't want to press too hard because I want my sons in it for the long haul. You know what I mean? So it's just like we train with. They've got a lot of sports going on right now, but like jiu-jitsu is always like they go to school, and as far as I'm concerned, there's school, and then like the second school is jiu-jitsu, right? So it's just always there. So You know, my first two sons are there, and then when my little man's old enough, he'll be in there too.
What's the age where they could start training?
4.
Okay,
Yeah, 4. So we
cool.
try to bend the rules, and four is a good, four is a good age. I mean, I roll with all my sons. You know, I toss them around, but
Okay,
four is a good age. You know, if they have the temperament for it.
okay.
Yeah.
Have you competed or
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah,
How's
I've
that?
competed. It's exhilarating. Yeah, um, it's different, you know, because I competed a lot wrestling, and you go to like a wrestling tournament, and that's a grind, and you'll sleep in the grandstands in between aisles. You know, you'll like pass out, listen to music, and you'll wrestle, and then you won't wrestle again for like 4 or 5 hours sometimes, and you'll
Mm-hmm.
be in like the middle of nowhere. You know, so I'm like, I grew up kind of in those competitions, and jiu-jitsu is different because you get like a quick time window, and you'll fight a couple times like pretty quick. Sometimes it like turns around. You know, you'll have a fight, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you're up again." So um, it's good. The best part about it is when you roll at your school, you kind of you see who's on the mat, and you know what to anticipate. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of understand people's different styles and
Yeah,
games. And then when you go to a tournament, it's the unknown. You have no idea what anybody knows or how good they are or what kind of game they play, because there's so much to it. So it's a great thing to, you know, test your skill set and see what you're made of.
yeah. I did go watch a jiu-jitsu tournament,
Yeah,
and it looked very overwhelming. You know, it's like you said, there's a lot of like turnaround. You know, like
yeah,
you might go like
yeah.
one fight or what's it called one
One fight after the next, a match,
exactly, yeah.
whatever. Yeah, there's two main things. There's two main aspects to jiu-jitsu. There's gi, which is like, you know, a kimono. It's like the traditional, like, hey, are you doing karate, right? So it's like there's a big collar, and, you know, strong sleeves with the apparel that you wear. So gi is like the traditional jiu-jitsu, and then there's no gi, and no gi is like where you wear the cool like Under Armour kind of get ups. You know, you call them rash guards,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a little bit faster because people get, you know, slippery, and you can't grab. You know, there's
Mm.
no with a gi you can kind of grab onto anything, and it's really hard to break that grip. But the no gi's fast because like you're moving around all the time, so you can go and you can fight in both gi and no gi. And then the thing nowadays is to like get double gold, so you win in gi and then win in no gi, right? But there's different schools of thought. Like there's some people at the top that are really good in gi, and some people that are really good in no gi, right? So it's like two different mindsets,
Mm-hmm.
but some translate. So it can be interesting to watch. Sometimes it can be honestly boring too. Like if you don't know what you're looking at, it's like spaghetti on the ground. So so that's it. But no-gi can be pretty exciting. So
Have you competed in gi or no gi or both?
I've competed in gi. I just competed in gi.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you know, I haven't competed at blue belt yet, so I need to jump into that Shark Tank and
Oh, okay.
see what it is. So there's some tournaments coming up. Stockton is Jiu-Jitsu World League is in April, so
Okay.
might need to go in there.
Are
You
you
know,
you're gonna compete?
yeah,
Okay.
sometime soon. You know, I'm not putting in my ticket yet, but I might
Okay.
be there.
Dope.
So you know, my sons compete too. Well, my oldest competes, and that's a different environment. Like
Really?
I'll go fight, no problem, but you know, watching the little ones go out there, that's something else. That's stressful, man.
In what way?
What I mean, having your kids go out and fight, like it's tough to watch
Oh, okay. I
because
see what you're
like,
saying. Yeah.
you know, I mean, you want to protect them, but then they need to learn to protect themselves.
I see what
So
you're
it's
saying.
just
Yeah.
like, you know, and everything's cool. Like the refs are good, and it's a safe space. It's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
just it's a lot. So, but yeah, it's exciting. But the problem is now is that I'm at a different time than when my sons compete, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would be much later in the day. The kids go pretty early. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we got again. I'm not trying to push it too hard because, you know, I want the development for them in the long run. So
Yeah.
you know, when they want to compete, we compete. When they don't want to, we won't. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, because if you push them, it's something like, let's say it's something you like, and you really push them to their limits. It's like they'll be like, oh, I don't like this. You know, like dad's
right.
making me do it. Yeah.
Right. No, it's got to be fun, you know.
Yeah.
So they mix it up, but they have a blast in there. They play all types of games and do cool stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know, they got story time. You know, my son asked me the other day, he's like, "What stories do you learn?" I'm like, "Dude, we don't get stories. Get our asses whooped and then go home." You know, so
That's so funny.
yeah, yeah. So it's you know, but it's a good thing. So if you're thinking about it, if anybody out there is thinking about it, find a local gym. Make sure that they treat you, you know, nice, treat you like royalty, and go for it.
Yeah, that's definitely a must. I feel like
Hmm.
in order for your gym to grow and people to go to your gym and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's important. Like I said earlier, with the community, if you think about you know what's going on in the world, you know, you got just dangerous, crazy people out there, and I think it would be better for any service people if they trained, right? Because like what you learn in jujitsu is they call it the gentle art, which is kind of ironic, right? Because you're like strangling people or like breaking limbs
Yeah.
essentially, um, but you learn to control people, you know. So you could, so if anybody is like a paramedic or a firefighter or a police officer or you know in the military, it's like imperative that you train because in that way you ever get in an altercation, you don't have to hurt somebody and you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it literally makes everybody safe, and then it gives you a different understanding of life. You like walk through and your ego's deflated because you're like you're not looking for problems anymore. Like you put that violent energy somewhere good, and then everything else is fine.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important.
Yeah. So you have a really busy schedule. So you do jujitsu yourself. Your kids do jujitsu.
Hmm.
Where does paintball fall in place? Is that just like weekends or?
In my dreams, uh, yeah. So you know, paintball is like the great passion in my life, right?
Okay.
So I got into it when I was I don't know 14 or something like that, and I played competitively a lot. And ultimately, what happened is I was in college and I started to travel, you know, so much through the nation. It was like I can't take this much time off school and I can't like bankroll going on 5 different trips a year, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
then training and practicing and all this. So I had to stop playing for a while. So now I've been fortunate enough to come back and play. But paintball is your Sunday's best is Sunday. Paintball is played on Sundays. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like if you ever play a tournament, the mindset is you make it to Sunday because you have to qualify to get to Sunday. But then if you're practicing or just playing paintball, paintball is always on Sundays. So if I can play, it's every random Sunday that I get, I'll be in there.
Okay. What do you mean when you qualify?
So if you play a tournament, right,
Uh
you
huh.
have preliminary matches. So you got to play a bunch of people and you got to earn points to like make it into the championship day, which is Sunday. So you'll play like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then depending on how you do advancing in your bracket, you'll go to Sunday. Sunday's a clean slate, and then you just try to win it
Okay,
all.
got it.
So like Sunday, to answer your question, is it's a Sunday mindset. So Sunday is the day that I can play.
Hmm.
So I don't play too often. But when I'm fortunate enough to do so, you know, we'll go on Sunday. So we got a couple tournaments here coming up that we're pretty excited. I'm playing next week, which is really exciting. So what's cool is I got the band back together. So a lot of the boys from back in the day, you know, I called them up and we started this thing last season. We started a team called Cobra. So it's my buddy Gab and I and another buddy Luke, and we went out and we're like, hey, do you want to play? And we're like, yeah, let's go play. And we are just gonna have a practice day, right? Just to like go shoot the shit. And it turned out the field we were trying to go to didn't work out. So we had to go to a different field, and then we were looking up the field, and it turns out there was a tournament that day. So out of the blue, my buddies and I played a tournament, a 3-man tournament. So it's 3-on-3. Most paintball is 5-on-5. So we just played a 3-on-3 tournament. It's the first time we played in forever, and we won it.
No way.
And it was like a terrible day. It was like raining, and it was like a bunch of mud and just like craziness, right? And we just went and we just won that thing. And we're like, all right, we're back.
Did that make it more fun though, like the rain and the mud, or was it like more sloppier?
No, it's sloppy, dude.
Really?
It's sloppy. But it's cool for a little bit. But when you played enough, you're like, nah, just give me a sunny day, you know?
Yeah, because I'm sure like the mud gets in your visors. It's just a pain in the ass
there's a
too.
bunch of smoke out of the barrel, and then because it's cold, like the shots will go
Oh.
different spots, and then when you slide, the thing is like we play on, so we play airball, right? It's like inflatable bunkers that are designed in certain shapes, and like it's on the same size field, and it's usually, if you're lucky, it's on turf. So like, excuse me, when you go and you like run and you slide, turf, it's rubber underneath, so it holds a lot of water. So you like dive into a bunker and be like, boom, like a tidal wave will come up, and you're just like soaking wet, and you're like, all right. So it's cool. It's it's a grind. So it's. I mean, yeah, it's fun for like a day, but you don't want to play too much in the rain.
Okay. So you said you won that tournament.
Yeah.
So then what happened?
Yeah. So we won. And because we won, we're like, well, we got to do this again. So then, we started calling up the other boys, and much to the dismay of our ladies, hey, we got another weekend, and so we put together a season, and we won most of the events that we played. So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, we're only playing locally, right? So it's not like on the national level. So we play a league called CEPL, Capital Edge Paintball League. So there's a big field in Sacramento. So they have a league. So we're playing that season this year. So that's pretty exciting. So that's a Northern California tournament circuit. But the biggest circuit is NXL, so the National X-Ball League. And what's cool about that is nowadays, with modern technology, there's Go Sports. Go Sports is a live webcast of the events. So now, if you're ever interested, look up Go Sports, and you can watch paintball live. And paintball, other than jiu-jitsu, paintball's pretty exciting if you watch it. Like, there's a lot going on, and they've got sky cameras that like fly around. They got drones, and like they got the best commentary that exists. So
really,
it's a full-fledged competitive sport, and you can watch it now. So it's really exciting. So there's a couple of different leagues going on. So I've always been involved in the sport, watching it and such. So it's just cool to see the evolution, like where it is nowadays.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos of like Empire. I think it's one of the big.
Empire is a brand.
Yeah. So they always post clips of people going at it, and it looks super fun, dude.
Yeah, it's a blast. You said you played, right?
I did play with him, with my son.
You guys went to Jungle?
Yeah.
That's where we all started.
We did it.
Shout out to Vallejo.
Yes, I know, right?
Yeah.
We did it several months. Back to back. It's fun. You just what's it called? They do this thing at noon. It's
the Hornets.
Yeah, the Hornets against
Beeswax.
like everybody that goes recreationally and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was like my favorite part, because they would always whip our ass. It was only like 14 or 12 of them against like 90 of us, and they just like took their sweet time and won every game.
Yeah,
it's just fun.
They've been doing that for 100 years, man. Paintball Jungle is kind of in Northern California. If you started playing paintball, that's probably where it started.
Really?
Paintball Jungle. So Paintball Jungle is in Vallejo, California, and next to Paintball Jungle, there used to be a field called Sherwood. And Sherwood is where that was like my stomping grounds. That's where I grew up playing. And it's literally on the same like dirt road, but I knew everybody at Sherwood, so I'd play there a lot. And Sherwood went out of business years later, and Paintball Jungle moved over and took over that lot. So Paintball Jungle is still a staple in Northern California, and it's still here. And they've been running that beeswax game for forever. They've got a local team. It's out in the woods, and they call their team the Hornets. So after lunch, you can go out and you play against the Hornets. It's a riot, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So yeah, we used to go there, and then for my 21st birthday, there was a paintball, like an indoor paintball arena, somewhere in Roner Park. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was indoor. It was synthetic grass, like you said, and then it, like the plastic barriers or whatever. And that was fun. That was really fun for me, just because, like you said, you could like slide and stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's like paint everywhere, so it's like easy to like slide and stuff.
There's a lot of oil left over.
Yeah, oil. Yeah, and then for some reason they closed, And that's when we started going to the jungle.
Yeah, jungle's cool. There's a spot in Petaluma, Playland. You can go there. Playland's cool because it's got both. It's got, so you call it scenario. Scenario is like in the woods with like, or like Call of Duty with like buildings and structures and such.
Oh damn, that
And then
sounds
there's
dope.
yeah, and then there's air, we call it airball, or like this like tournament paintball where you hide behind like Doritos or like the snake. We got language for all the different
Mm.
bunkers on the field, but that place is really cool and it's local too. So Saturdays and Sundays, you can go up there and check it
Um, how hard was it for you to like get your whole crew back?
out.
Like, did you have to like?
It's a lot of phone calls, but everybody, you don't lose the passion, right?
Yeah.
So like everybody wants to play. So a lot of people came out and played again. So we got the core group, and then we've got people that are floaters that like rotate out.
Mm.
So it's cool. We got a couple different squads back, and then some of my buddies never left the sport. A lot of my friends like became the top professionals in the world.
Dope.
Yeah. So it's really cool to see everybody's evolution, and some of my oldest friends are from paintball. It's like a weird subculture to get into.
Mm.
You can think of it to like motocross, right? You're like, what? You do what? So you get into this subculture and you meet all these people. But just for the Super Bowl, I saw my buddy, and I met him, I don't know, 22 years ago on the field. And like he liked the way I played, and he said what's up to me, and then like we became friends through like respect, right? And then it just grew into a relationship, and like here we are, decades later. So it wasn't too hard to get everybody back, but it's hard to keep everybody going because life happens, right?
Exactly.
And like this is
Yeah.
just like, it's fun for us, but it's like there's bigger priorities, right? But
Yeah.
it's good. I'm looking forward to the days when my sons are older and we can all play. I mean, your son's old enough, right? But my guys are still little, so we gotta wait for them. But right now it's like Nerf guns and such.
Yeah.
But that day's coming too. So
Yeah, that's hey, if you get them Nerf guns, at least you're starting to introduce the game to them.
yeah, definitely. Paintball is a lot like, or it mirrors basketball in a lot of ways. Like, hey, do you want a ball, right? Like, so people go, hey, do you want to go ball? And in basketball, you're nice like if you have a jumper, right? Like if you got like a good jump shot. In paintball, um, you've got a good snapshot. So if you come to a bunker and somebody else is at a bunker, you've got a really good skill set where you can snap out for a second, put a shot directly on somebody, and then come back, right? And that's like a lifetime skill. Like some people are just ridiculous snapping, right? You just snap. So there's a lot to it, and it's cool to develop, that skill set over all these years. It's a lot of fun.
So you say you play 3-on-3, right?
At that tournament, but 5-on-5 is typically what it is now.
So when you play 5-on-5, do you guys have a strategy where like one of you guys stay back, for example, and kind of like sees what's going on?
100%.
Is there a name for that, or?
Yeah, so like there's you call them back players, or
Okay.
like mid players or inserts, and then front players. And the front players, so that typically how a field is designed when you go to a tournament, they'll call it a layout, and they'll give you a layout. Now all the fields are the same size, right? But then the amount of bunkers is relatively the same, but then it'll be in completely different formations.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to look at the layout and be like, okay, how are we going to capitalize on this field, right? And then what happens is you start at a start gate and you start looking at the other team, right? And they say, game starts in 10 seconds, and then it'll be quiet. 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. And there's like, and then everybody starts shooting at each other and running, and like all hell breaks loose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you try to do is pick the best bunkers for your front players to make, and then make adjustments off that. And typically the way that fields are devised is one tape, one sideline will be Doritos. So it's like those 3D pyramids,
Mm-hmm.
like those are called Doritos. So that's like the Dorito tape. And then the other side will be the snake. And the snake is like this low crawling bunker apparatus where if you can get to the other side of the field, potentially nobody can see you, and you can pop up and shoot everybody in their back. but it's also like the hardest place to make. And then if there's another one in the snake, you have no idea where they are. So there's usually a Dorito tape, a snake tape, and you just try to figure out the madness from there.
What do you play? Or do you guys rotate?
We rotate, but I was playing Doritos, so either like lead Dorito or insert now. But I'm not as fast as I used to be, and you gotta run and like throw your body. So if I can, we've recruited some younger cats on the team. I'll let them go run crazy.
Okay,
right?
for sure.
Yeah, so I like that, but I'll play anywhere, man. Just not lead snake really. But it's like anything else. Like again for basketball, like if you're a center in basketball, you play center. You're not a point guard, right? So it's the same thing with paintball. Like if you're a back player, you're probably a back player, not a front player, right? So there's different skill sets, and there's different timing involved. So after a while, you can kind of float around and play anywhere. But I'm kind of Dorito tape right now.
Okay.
That's where it's best to optimize at this point.
Got it. You said you guys adjust during the game. How do you guys adjust? Because it's crazy in there. Like it's
crazy. Yeah, it's communication.
How?
So you got.
Do you have walkie-talkies or just like sign language? Or how, like...
No. Excuse me. You can talk. So like here, I'm gonna put down some language for you. So it's 5-on-5, right? So there's you try to keep account. So only players on the field can talk. Okay. So nobody on the sidelines, even though they can see everything, they can't say anything. Okay. So it's on you to figure out what's going on, and like some random paintball language would be like, hey, back left's hot, G3, what else do you got? Okay, so like back left is like a structure on the field. Back left is hot. G3 means, that's an old language, but that means that we killed 3 people. What else do you got? So there's, I've declared 1 player, then there's 3 players gone, but there's another player somewhere, right? So you could say that, or like, hey, Dorito 2, my mirror, back left, back right, snake 50, so you just throw out all these different codes, and then you try to figure out what's going on from there.
So are these codes universal? Like anybody could, like obviously, like the other group, could they understand, or is this like your own?
Yeah, no. So that's a good question. A lot of people understand. So bunker names can be different. So some people call different things. I'll call that a door. Some people call that bunker God. I'll call that a can. Some people call that a rollie. Like there's different little nuances like that. But for the most part, like when I played, it was G's and balls. So how many people you killed was like G3 or G5, right? And then ball would be like, hey, ball 2. That means that we lost 2 people. So it's a quick way to know like what's going on.
But the other team's understanding what you're saying.
They can still hear you too. So,
but they could
they can understand you. So like, and then also like if you want to get technical, you can try to psych them out and say different information to them, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So there's weird things you can do, and then like on your back you carry a harness that has pods, which are extra clips, right? And some people try to do this. Most people can't pull it off. It's kind of funny to watch on Go Sports or whatever, but they'll pull a pod out and throw a pod at a bunker to try to make somebody run around and like bunkers. So if you bunker somebody, like if you and I are at the same structure and then I come and I bunker you, meaning I shoot you out of the same place that we are, that's kind of like a slam dunk. It's like the coolest thing you can do, right? So if I bunker you, it's like, you got owned, right? So they'll throw the pod to like scare somebody. So they're like, oh, the bunker moved, like somebody's on the other side. So immediately you have to go deal with that situation, because especially in the snake, somebody's going to come get you right away. Like you don't have a lot of time. Like, you watch football, like the pocket collapses. That's like what it is. You got to make split second decisions and like deal with whatever's going on. So yeah, the other team can understand you.
Okay.
But it's more, you would hear your team more because like people are shooting at you, but once there's enough bodies off the field, you can hear them, and then sometimes they don't know where you are, so you just want to be quiet. Don't say anything. Sometimes your other teammates there and you won't say anything to them because you're trying to stay quiet because they don't know where you are. So you don't want to shoot your gun, you don't want to say anything, you want to be a ninja for a second.
Okay.
So there's a lot to it. It's live chess, if you will. So
Yeah.
if you play chess, it's
True.
like
I never thought about it like that.
yeah,
So you're right.
yeah. So that's good. Do you play chess?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I've tried it, like, back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not like, I forgot about the name of all the little pieces.
Yeah. So it's
Do you play chess?
yeah, I play a lot of chess.
Really?
Uh-huh. It's all the same, man. Jiu Jitsu, paintball, chess, same thing, just different formats, man.
Got it.
Just being competitive and staying sharp. So, yeah, so that's good. Watch the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, check that out. So that was like COVID time. The show came out. It's a fictitious show, but it's about this female chess prodigy. It's just a good show, regardless of chess, but it's pretty cool because she goes through chess and she looks at the ceiling and she trips out and she can see moves in her mind, and like the board will move. So she's figuring out all these puzzles and formations and such. But it's a great show. There's only one series, so.
What's it called?
The Queen's Gambit.
I'll check it out.
Check it out, dude, and then visit chess.com. Start playing chess. Yeah.
I watch a lot of clips of this. I forget his name, but he's like the best chess player.
Yeah, is it Hikaru Nakamura? He does a lot of streaming, or Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus.
Magnus is
Yeah.
That guy is a different level. Yeah. It's like,
yeah, I see a lot of his clips.
He's the greatest chess player that's ever existed.
Really?
Yeah, by far. Yeah. So there, he's been breaking records of like the highest recorded score you can ever get.
I think he's the one that like he's always late to his matches and stuff. He like he don't give a fuck. He just like takes his sweet time and stuff.
Yeah, he's like retired from the game a couple times.
Yeah,
he's so good. It's weird to see. In any sport, there's like the 1%, and then there's like the decimals of that 1%, right?
Yeah,
and he's there. There's only a few people on their best days that can compete with him.
Yeah, it's nice to watch when they're playing, because it's like so like I don't know, they just know what they're doing, and it's like fast sometimes.
Yeah. So that's like gi and no gi. It's the same thing with chess. You can play classical, which is like slow, and you can play a 30-minute game, or you can play blitz, where the whole game is like a minute, or bullet's like a minute, and then you just have to have everything memorized, and so it's the same skill set, but it's a different time frame, so you don't have a lot of time to calculate things, right?
When you say have it memorized, like what does that mean?
Yeah, so
because the back board or whatever, the queen and all that stuff, the horse, they all have different ways to move, right?
Right.
So I've noticed that people give up like even before the game ends, because I guess they don't have any moves anymore, right?
Yeah, there's only so many moves you can make. I mean, there's mathematically too many to calculate, but at some point, if you've made enough errors, the game is essentially over. So people will resign. But what I'm saying is memorization is when you play a faster game, there's openings. So some people will play openings. So it's like the first 10, 12, 14 moves are memorized, right? So you're doing certain things, and like if you move here, they move here, then you react in certain ways. So there's a lot of different theories about how to play the game, and then there's openings, mid game, and then the end game. And there's a lifetime of learning in those three processes. Yeah, so it's good. I play a lot of chess. I'm horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Who do you play with? Like,
I play with a lot of my buddies. So I was playing a lot in college. I'd play like downtown. I play in the parks. I'd find people. My dad and I built a pretty cool chessboard. I inherited some pieces, and then we measured the ratio of a Stanton, which is the regulation set, and then created a board. So I'd like bring all my buddies over. We play chess. So I started playing there, and then I play a lot on chess.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you play online, is it just for fun, or is there like money involved, like gambling and stuff, or is that not a thing?
No, I don't gamble. I'm not good enough to gamble on the chessboard. But no, it's not. There's no money involved. But a lot of my buddies, Jiu Jitsu, some of the guys I roll with, Sebastian, one of the brown belts at North Bay, is a really good chess player. We play all the time.
Really?
So I got like I don't know how many games going on my phone right now, but it's cool because it's like daily puzzles. You know, you can play a game where you need to make one move a day, one move in 24 hours. So you can just make one move and then you're good, and you don't have to make another move till tomorrow. Or you can make 100 moves in a day, right? But it's just cool because you know you've got these different thought puzzles and patterns going on. So it's just good. It keeps you sharp. You know, it's a good activity. So
are you thinking about the game like the whole day? Like, what?
No, I'm not Magnus. I'm not Magnus. No.
What move should I make tomorrow?
No, more so like, did I just move that? I want to throw my phone. You know, no. I think about it sometimes. But I've got more studying to do with it. I play a lot with my oldest son, which is really cool. We got a couple boards at home, so we play, and then my middle son's learning the game. So eventually, with my 3 sons, we'll have 2 boards going, and we can all play. And the nice thing about chess is it's a lifetime skill set.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm old, I can still play. You know what I mean? You don't need to be like physically strong to play chess. You just need to be like mentally there. So it'll keep you sharp. So it's good. I've been playing a long time.
This is kind of random, but
yeah.
Did you ever watch A Bug's Life, the movie?
Heck yeah.
Before the movie starts,
yep.
You know what I'm gonna say?
I know exactly
That's one of my favorite clips ever.
Yeah,
with
the old man playing himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It sounds funny, but if you put a chessboard in front of you and you play yourself, like just you play both sides of the board, you don't know who's gonna win, and you think you do, but you don't. So figure out that puzzle. It's good. It's a good experiment.
Yeah, it all depends on how knowledgeable you are in the game. We were playing with a friend one day, and I gave up because I had no more moves in my mind.
Yeah.
And then this other guy jumps in, and then he ended up winning my game. He knew like what to move and how to move the pieces, and he beat the guy that was beating me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's another humbling experience because when I was in school in Chico, there was a kid who was the best in a college university of 30,000 kids. Like he was probably the best player, right? There was this other random like kind of street homeless dude he said he was a grandmaster, which I might have believed. Like he was a crazy dude, super good at chess.
Mm-hmm.
So those two would go back and forth. And then the third probably best player was this like little 8-year-old kid, and he'd have like a G.I. Joe or like an action figure, and he'd like make a move, and a lot of the town would be at the farmer's market, and they'd watch this kid play, and he'd be like playing with this toy and then like move a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And the adults would be like, what is going on? And he's just like, whatever. So it's a great level set because you just have to be sharp, and what's cool in this day and age and environment is everything with YouTube and the streamers and all this. Some of the youngest grandmasters ever are popping up all over the world, so it's pretty cool. There's this little girl. She's in England, and she went to a tournament and beat like 30 adults, and she's like 9.
Like back to back?
Yeah. Like didn't lose.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a little Indian girl, like phenom, so like who knows where she's gonna go. So it's cool because like there's brilliant minds everywhere. So I like chess. It's a good competitive landscape and a good way to stay sharp.
Yeah, that's definitely a humbling experience. Imagine a little girl beating a grown man.
Yeah.
Him thinking he might, win or whatever.
Doesn't matter if you're smart, you're smart.
True.
That's what's good about it, So it's good to play these things.
Yeah.
So to figure these things out. So yeah, you never know. Some little kids will tear you up, man. And keep you humble. So
yeah,
it's good.
So you like all these competitive sports? What else do you like to do in your free time, if you have any free time?
Yeah, free time. I watch a lot of movies growing up, and like for those that know me, like I'm always relating life through like movies, like you just did with The Bug's Life. So I'll relate things to movies I've seen. Hey, have you seen this? I try to share relativity through movies and stories or books. So when I can, I mean, we'll watch movies and shows and such. But my time is dedicated to work and then teaching my sons everything I can, and taking them to different sporting events and just keeping them active and doing our best to raise a strong and healthy family.
That's cool.
So yeah, movies. When I can, I'll go out and I'll work out too. But yeah, movies, Jiu Jitsu, and chess and paintball keeps me busy enough. Besides my family life.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Sounds like a busy schedule.
yeah. I remember we had a conversation briefly. You had seen one of the new Marvel movies, I think, and you were telling me about it.
What movie was that?
One of the new Thors, maybe.
No. What movie came out in 2023? Marvel movie. Because it was at the fair where we spoke about it, right?
Yeah.
Can't remember what movie.
There's probably like 5 Marvel movies that came out in 2023.
I can't remember, but yeah, I do remember that conversation.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it was? I remember it was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the newest one.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, it's kind of it took me a second. It's like more of an emotional tone. So I saw it. It was good. I like that.
You liked it?
Yeah, I like those movies.
Out of all 3, which one do you like the best? They're kind of different in their own way, but
probably the first one.
First one.
Yeah, the music is cool. I like that. Chris Pratt's hilarious. So it's good. Some of the Marvel movies are tacky with like how funny they are, but like Guardians of the Galaxy is a good juxtaposition and like balance there.
Yeah.
So I think the first one, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I like the first one the most as well.
Yeah. So
the second one, it was cool too, but it was where he found his father, and his father's like
Kurt
a god.
Russell was like a god eating plants. This is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then the third one's cool, and it was like the AI, like the bad guy was like part robot or something, and then he what's the raccoon's name? Rocket. Sorry, I'm thinking like Ratchet and Clank. And so yeah, Rocket. And it went into like his origin story, which was cool. But it was cool when it ended. You know what I mean? It was also kind of sad because you could tell they've been doing it for like a decade or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Guardians of the Galaxy, it's decent. It's good.
Yeah, I like Guardians of the Galaxy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ant-Man is also one of my favorites too.
That's one of your favorites?
Yeah.
That's Michael Pena is fucking hilarious. He's like, yeah, but what had happened was, and then he tells the story. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a funny scene.
Yeah. He keeps telling the thing.
Yeah.
The little stories.
Yeah, it's a funny scene. I like that.
You like the first one, or what's your favorite one? Or there's 3 of them now. It's Quantumania.
Yeah, probably the first one.
First one.
I think on a lot of movies, the first movie is the best because it's original.
Yeah.
It's the second movie they try to build from the first movie, and it just like sometimes they lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hot topic. What's a movie where the second one is better than the first?
Oh, great question. Let's see. Not sure.
Terminator 2.
I never seen Terminator 2.
What?
Nope.
Have you seen Terminator 2? Oh man. Yeah, it's
we'll have to watch that this weekend or something.
Well, now movies are way cooler, but that's like the quintessential 90s action movie. Like that's that. You've never seen Terminator 2?
No, I don't think I have.
It's way better than Terminator 1.
I watched Terminator 1 at the movie theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's better than that. And then I don't know about the rest of them, but T2, that movie's awesome. But yeah, for the most part, the first story is usually the best.
Yeah.
You set up the plot line and go from
exactly,
there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of hard to beat the first.
I remember when I used to watch movies as a little kid.
Yeah.
And I remember they were like the best movie ever and stuff, Mm-hmm. And now obviously with technology and stuff, and I still have that, that memory of being like the best movie I've ever seen and stuff. I go back and watch it and it's like, did I really like this movie? Because it's like
I know
CGI is so much better
Oh
now
my!
and things like that. You know, it's like, what the hell is this? You know?
We watched. We watched. Have you seen Stargate?
No.
So Stargate's another like night. It's like a space Jurassic Park, if you will.
Okay.
And I was like, I was talking to my lady. He's like, hey, have you seen this movie? She's like, no, I've never seen it. I was like, oh, we gotta watch this. This is so good. And then we were watching. I was like, this is kind of hokey now, just because like movies are so good,
Yeah.
So it's like you got to give them their due for the time frame.
At the time, it was the best thing. It's
Yeah.
like what's the thing? The Vision Pros.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest thing
Right.
out now. Because
Right.
like technology is there.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure 20, 30, 40 years from now, like we'll have better technology, and then we'll look back at the Vision Pros and be like, that's kind of whack. It's really outdated. It's just part of life.
It's going to be crazy because we're going to be walking through environments where like Dragon Ball Z like scanners, you're going to be looking at like whatever you're looking at in somebody else, and then you're going to have. I think it's going to get to a point where people have like digital clothes and like avatars like over what they're wearing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I agree. Yeah.
It'll get. Who knows where this thing's going to go? But
yeah.
It's going to get crazy. Some of my paintball buddies, they're into. They got the VR headsets.
Mm-hmm.
And they play so they can walk fields. To answer your question again from earlier, like, is there a strategy? They'll go and people will build out the fields digitally. Like they'll release the layout for a field a couple months before and be like, hey, here you go. And they'll go and they'll play in the VR headset, and they'll play, so they can play like digital paintball through a VR headset, which is pretty wild.
I'm sorry. So is this for you to play or for you to get to know the field when you get to the field?
It's both. It's a video game that you play in a VR headset, but you're getting used to the field, so to speak. You're like playing it in a 3-dimensional space.
Huh.
It's pretty wild.
That's dope. That's crazy.
Yeah, because you used to have to go to walk fields. Like you go to the field early in the morning and you like look at the angles and like see like what's available, right? Like, oh, if I'm here, I can shoot somebody here, or I'm in danger from this zone or whatever. But now, in this day and age, you can just put on a virtual headset and play. But I'm not trying to like run through a wall, so I don't have a VR headset right now.
Yeah, and they're pricey too, dude.
Yeah,
they're like almost 4K.
What?
That's
crazy.
The Vision Pro is like 3,500, I think.
Oh no, I'm just talking about like the Oculus or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's crazy though. 4K. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I saw a pretty funny thing. Like T-Pain was like, "I'm never taking this thing off," and he was like walking through the mall. I was like, "That's hilarious."
That's funny.
He's cool enough to pull that off though.
Yeah.
So. I see the Xbox controller. You guys play Xbox?
We do.
What do you guys play?
Madden and soccer.
FIFA?
A little, yeah. FIFA, I mean.
FIFA. Yeah.
And a little UFC.
So to answer your question earlier, also, like, what else you do? I watch a ton of UFC.
Really?
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, playing paintball. We play on Sundays.
You see my little Conor McGregor over there?
Who the fuck is that guy? Yeah. So we, paintball you play on Sundays, so we couldn't see like what the sports. There was no like smartphones. Then it's like who knows who won the Niners game, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't follow a lot of sports.
Did you watch the game?
What the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got PTSD. Yeah, I watched it. Hell of a game, man.
It was a great game.
Yeah, it's just it's heartbreaking because we've been there 3 times.
Yeah.
But to hold Mahomes like we did, I mean, we played a phenomenal game. Just they're really tough to beat. So.
But fucking Mahomes, last 10 seconds, it was like 10 seconds, right? Or 9 seconds?
Yeah, but I mean, we missed, that extra point. But that also took the pressure off from Mahomes trying to throw a touchdown, so maybe that would have made a difference. We had a fumble. Greenlaw got hurt. Like, there's a lot of factors in that game.
I don't remember who was gonna when we were gonna get the ball and they touched the players foot.
Yeah.
I still don't get why he was pointing instead of just trying to grab the ball.
I think he thought it was a dead ball, but it was live. So he made an error. He should have just jumped on that thing like a grenade and been like, because that turned the tide of the game big time.
Yeah.
I was worried about it, man, because we're not up by 14. I knew we were in trouble because Mahomes that guy's something else. And my middle son was born. He was a couple months old, and we played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and I was holding him. I remember this vividly. There was 10 minutes left, and we were up by 10 points. I started talking to my son. I'm like, hey, son, this is going to be, special time. It's not very often that, a local team gets to the big show and, it's going to be champion like you're born. And, this maybe one day you'll look back on this and, this is a cool moment for me.
Mm.
And I was talking to him and we blew that game, So then when we were up this Super Bowl, I'm like, man, this is not over till it's over. And then, dude, it went into overtime. It was the longest drive of my life. It took 2 hours to decompress from like the adrenaline, it's just like walking around. And so if you want to watch sports for being entertaining, like it was as entertaining as it gets, right?
Yeah.
On to the next. I mean, now we got other things to focus on.
Yeah,
so
true.
Next season, I mean, that was a phenomenal season, and let's go back. I mean, we lost the NFC Championship, got smashed on by the Eagles, came back, beat them significantly in the middle of the season, and then went to the Super Bowl. So like, if we can do it, we can do it. So hopefully it happens, but I got other things to focus on now.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's speculations or people are saying that, what's his name? Brady might come out of retirement.
No.
Because he's the only one that's beaten Mahomes and stuff.
No, he's
It's just people, the internet, they're just...
You ever see Any Given Sunday? It's a football movie. Al Pacino, he's like, life is this game of inches, and like he gives a speech about like how you got to go out there and give it your all in the gridiron gang, right? But anyways, they pull this this trick at the end of the film where in the back they had a plan that Al Pacino was going to leave the team and then bring one of the best players with him, and like nobody saw it coming. I was like, I wonder, like in today's like billionaire environment, if that would ever happen. And that happened. That happened with Gronk and Brady, in the Buccaneers, because you never thought he was going to leave New England. Like,
yeah,
he was like Kobe or something.
Yeah,
right? You're like, you're staying there, like, and then he went to the Bucks, and then he called Gronk. He called Gronk. It's like, hey Gronk, you want to go to the Bucks next year? And then they did it, and they won a Super Bowl. It's crazy, man. Crazy.
Was he with the Bucks for 1 or 2 seasons?
I think 2.
2.
I don't know, but I'm not like the sports almanac in that sense. So I'll watch things for entertainment. But back to the UFC, like I'll tell you a little bit about that. This weekend's gonna be cool. Volkanovski and Ilya Topuria. That's gonna be
Did you see any of the press conferences?
I saw Volkanovski passing out, falling asleep. I like his approach.
He was really in character. Like he didn't
yeah. Well, he's cool, man. He's Ilya seems really, really keyed up and upset, and Volk is calm. So
yeah,
that's a dangerous combination.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's so well versed, like, and he's been in all the big fights for forever, and he's calm. And Ilya's like angry. Anger a lot of times can be a straight line, so we'll see what happens. But I'm interested in that. Saturday night is always fun, so watching the fights is exciting.
And the co-main is what's his name?
Robert Whittaker
and Acosta.
Yeah.
They fought once already, right?
I don't think so.
No.
Whittaker, he fought Yoel Romero a couple times. He fought Izzy a bunch of times.
Oh, I think I'm thinking Acosta and Yoel Romero.
Yeah, they fought. That's scary.
Yeah, that was a good fight to watch. It was.
Yeah. Yoel Romero is fighting Thiago Santos because the PFL and the Bellator merged.
Yeah.
And they're doing something really cool that's kind of unprecedented where they merged fight leagues and they're bringing the best of the best together.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of champ versus champ fights from different organizations.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a lot of fun. Yoel Romero is incredible.
Yeah.
That guy is a muscle from his earlobe to his ankle. Like, that guy is something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah. I mean, they all are, right? But
yeah.
Like, that guy is just a phenom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like 44 and he's still competing.
Yeah, he's like Brett Favre, dude. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, but going back to this Saturday's UFC, like who do you think is gonna win with Acosta and Whittaker?
I gotta go Whittaker because Costa hasn't been fighting, and I'm just a fan of Whittaker. And sometimes, watching the fights, it's cool because like you have the emotional basis. And I want this fighter to win because I like the guy or girl, and that's
You know, I've
exciting.
lost a lot of money like that
I know
because I'm emotional.
right.
I don't like, even though deep down I know the other guy's gonna win, but I just want my fighter to win, and that's something dangerous to do.
So what I'm saying is that I balance it. Sometimes I go, I don't care what happens. I want this to be the outcome. Other times, logically, what's going to happen?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like logically, Ilya could go in there and light up Volk, right? Like that's possible, but I'm leaning Volk, right? Um, Costa could go knock Whitaker, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Whitaker's too technical for him, so that's my pick. And then Ian Gary and Jeff Neal is going to be really interesting because Jeff Neal is a beast, and Ian Gary is like yet to be really really tested.
Yeah, I don't know much about Neil, so I can't really speak on that fight. So, what do you think about that fight?
Let's go on an emotional basis. I hope Jeff Neal knocks him out. It sound like standard, but Ian Gary's slick, man. That guy's good everywhere, and he goes around the world training to try to get to the best places. Like I've seen, he went to like Tiger Muay Thai, and then he would go train like Jiu Jitsu in Brazil, right? So who knows? But he's kind of there's a lot of hype behind him, so it's always interesting to see like what happens.
I saw a video about this press conference. He was about to cry because people were booing him.
Oh yeah, and he didn't show up to his last.
Oh really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of that's all. There's a lot of controversy around all of that, but I'm just excited for good fights.
Yeah,
know? It's kind of it's like people are like, oh, I don't like that actor. I'm not going to watch that movie. It's like, dude, I'm watching the movie because I want to watch the movie. Right?
Yeah,
it's a story. I don't care like, what Tom Cruise is doing outside of Top Gun.
Yeah,
right?
true. Yeah,
sometimes, right? So I'm excited, for these fights and to see what happens. And what's really cool is that for the next like 8 Saturdays, there's a UFC on. So
yeah.
Thank you, Dana.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the other cards, but I'm sure they're gonna be stacked up. This one's pretty stacked up.
Yeah, I mean, you got 299 is coming up, and then 300 too. And apparently they're gonna release who the main is for 300. But like Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje are fighting. Yeah. That's gonna be crazy. There's a lot of good fights coming up. So yeah. I'm here for it. Cue the popcorn. We'll be ready. So
for reals.
you bet on fights?
Sometimes. Yeah. I'm not very good at betting just because I bet emotionally. Yeah. And that's not the way to do it.
So I'll hit up my buddies just to like talk shit and be like, hey, I'll put 20 on so and so or whatever, and it makes the fight so much more fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
because you're like just whatever amount of money, and like I can only imagine if you're putting like massive money against it, but it's a lot of fun. You're more invested in it, so I understand.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I understand why you put it against. So if you want to gamble, let me know. We can put some.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it makes it more fun. Just like you said, you're more invested in the fight.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you got any picks coming up?
No, not yet. I mean, I want Volk to win.
Yeah.
I want Whitaker to win.
Yeah.
Who else is on that card? Who else is on that card? Let's find out. Do you know who else is on the card?
No, Jeff Neal and Ian Gary. That will be entertaining. And Merab and Cejudo. Dude.
Oh, that's right.
That's a crazy old fight right there.
Yeah. Who you got on that one?
I'm in hot water on this one. I'm going Cejudo.
That dude is cringy as hell, but I got Cejudo on that.
What is that? What did you say? Green?
Cringy.
Oh, cringy as hell. Yeah, hell yeah, he is. Again, I don't care what Tom Cruise is doing out. Yeah, no, I can't stand Cejudo, but he's brilliant with his fight breakdowns. Yeah. And
when he beat what's his name?
DJ.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So I called that. They fought twice, right? And the first time I was like, dude, this kid Cejudo something else, and DJ smoked him. And we're at some random house, and everybody was giving me so much shit for it. I was like, well, you'll see, he'll come back, right? And then like,
Cejudo. You're talking about Dillashaw, right?
No,
No.
no, no, no. I'm talking about DJ Mighty Mouse.
Oh, Mighty Mouse. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Mighty
okay. No,
Mouse.
no, no.
Yeah,
No,
yes,
I was talking about Dillashaw.
yeah. He
Yeah,
might come back. He
you
might
think
come.
so?
I don't know. I've seen some things. Maybe that
Hmm.
dude's a stud too. I mean, yes, another cringe-worthy one, but a
Yeah.
hell of a fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Renan Barra, I
Uh-huh.
think is how you say his name. He was like a Brazilian powerhouse. Like if you remember Praetorian, like he would wear like the Praetorian gear, and he was unstoppable. And TJ went in there and like beat the brakes off of him.
Really?
And you're like, whoa, yeah, yeah, that was solid. So I don't know. I got Cejudo. Who do you got?
Cejudo.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope so. But I mean, Marab with 8,000 takedowns. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But it'll be exciting.
We're kind of going back and forth here, but talk about Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
He fought this Muay Thai fighter. I don't know his name. I forget his name.
Yeah, like Sen Chai or something.
And they did like 1 round MMA, 1 round
Yeah.
Muay Thai. Did you see that?
One FC. Yeah.
Was that what it
Yeah.
was?
Yeah.
Did he watch that fight?
I saw clips of it. I didn't see it live.
Okay. Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it's crazy. One FC is really cool because it's a fight organization that's in Southeast Asia, and apparently it's the biggest fight organization in the world.
Oh wow.
But here it just seems like the UFC is because it's proximity, right?
Mhm.
But there they put on Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA. Then they also have, nogi, grappling, which is really exciting. So you'll watch world-class athletes of like all different weight classes and all different skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's excellent. And it's on Prime now, which is cool. So most people have Prime, so you don't have to pay for like a pay-per-view. You can just watch that on like a Friday night.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, ONE FC is super cool.
That's cool because you don't gotta pay the ESPN subscription plus freaking
right. All of that.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to do any of that. It's just if you have a Prime.
Okay.
So they haven't monetized it yet. Please don't.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's not like $55 or whatever. And I understand. People gotta get paid. But it's just nice to be able to watch high level athletics in the fight realm without having to pay for it. Because for some reason, we don't have to pay for the Super Bowl. But we got to pay for like a Canelo fight.
But everything is based on subscriptions now, dude.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So we don't have cable because we don't
Yeah,
we didn't watch TV.
Yeah,
so
TV
we
sucks.
just
Yeah.
But now it's the same thing because we got like Hulu, we got freaking
Yeah.
Disney, we got like all these subscriptions. It's like more expensive now,
Yeah,
But that's just part of life, like part of
yeah. It's funny because we went somewhere and my sons turned on the TV and it was like regular cable television. They're like, "Hey, I want to watch this. I want to watch this." And I'm like, "No, that's not how this works. This is called surfing channels. Like you just see, like you change the channel until it's there.
Yeah.
And now, you can just pick an app and find what you want. So, we used to go to movie stores. You would walk around for an hour and like, what's a good movie to watch? And then you like bring that home as like a whole thing.
And
now
then
you're like, click,
Redbox
click, click.
came along.
Yeah.
And now everything's digital.
Everything's digital. All the red boxes are gone, man.
Yeah.
There's not many. I tried to go to a red box a while ago. There's only a couple left out here. So they're kind of gone. You used to be able to go to like 7-Eleven and rent something, but
that's right. They were out to 7-Elevens.
Yeah, the apps are killing everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super convenient too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It was crazy. I talked to there was a manager of the video store I went to when I was a kid, and how we were talking about like where the future is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he said this years ago. He's like, none of this is going to matter in like 10 years. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're going to have a device. He almost got it right. He's like, you're going to have a device where it's just going to have hundreds or thousands of movies on it, and you're not going to need to go to the store, and it's all going to be there on that hard drive.
Yeah.
And like, yep, pretty much. Now you can watch anything.
Exactly. Yep.
So it's good. You see anything good lately?
Not really.
No.
Not really. I just rewatch episodes that I like The Office.
Oh yeah, you guys have Netflix?
We have Netflix.
So you guys play a lot of FIFA?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to college and all my roommates were college soccer players. So like FIFA was the common ground.
Okay.
Played a lot of FIFA. What's really cool is there's this show, Captains of the World on Netflix, and it's a documentary of the World Cup. and they interview the coaches and they interview the captains of all the different teams and like all the drama that unfolds. So they'll talk like you and I here, and then it'll flash like events in the game, and then it'll go back.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many hundreds of people they had produce this project, but it's incredible. So if you like football or soccer, watch that, and you'll get hyped, and you'll get ready for the next round of FIFA.
Yeah, we'll definitely watch it. Before we leave, give me the names of all the movies you've recommended.
I know, like I said, that's what I do, man. Yeah. So I'll send you the list, but that's good. Who do you play in FIFA? Out of curiosity, what's your squad?
Belgium.
Oh, Belgium.
Yeah. Do you play? Do you have an Xbox?
That was quick, man. He was in Belgium. Belgium's tough, man. I do have an Xbox. I do not have the newest FIFA. If I need to open that can of worms, I think I might. My oldest plays soccer, and I don't want to like crack open FIFA yet because he'll be like, all he'll want to do is play FIFA, and all I want to do is play FIFA with him. But he's still a little young, He's going to be 7, so I don't want to, have him be, completely taken over by that. But I'll play. I'd play Portugal. That's my squad.
Okay.
And then if we play club, we'll go Barcelona like a cheater.
Okay.
Because I wasn't good at the beginning, so I started with Barca with like Ronaldinho.
Okay.
I love FIFA, man. FIFA is so much fun.
Yeah, we should play a game one day.
We should play a game today after this podcast.
Hey, I'm down.
Over. Yeah, yeah. So, FIFA as a weird relation, FIFA seems a lot like chess in a lot of ways. Like,
how so?
How the game develops is, once you get a cross and like everybody's moved, there's only a certain amount of possibilities that you can have to score, right? Or to defend that scenario. It's kind of the same thing like when you go through the evolutions of the chessboard, like you'll break the game open and like here's the fast break and like here's your opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you can shut that momentum down, you're going to win that game, right? So it's like that ebb and flow.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I love FIFA, man. It's a lot of fun. I played a ton of that in college.
Yeah, I like playing. Well, I don't have the newest FIFA. I have FIFA 2021, I think.
Yeah.
And they shut down the server, so I used to play online a lot.
Okay.
And you need to have like the newest game in order for you to play online with other people.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, come on, dude, you gotta make me spend $60 again.
Yeah. It's all the pay to play now. That's like the word. It's pay to play, right?
Okay.
And it's too bad. You should be able to play FIFA 2020 if you want to.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I gotta wait for my brother.
Uh-huh.
My brother's pretty competitive when it comes to video games.
Okay.
So we just like play like 5 games, like best out of 5 wins or whatever.
For how much?
Oh, we just do it for fun. Yeah.
Got to bet in that too, man.
We gotta bet. Yeah. I'm pretty okay. It's pretty competitive when we play. Madden, on the other hand, I suck, dude. Oh, I'm still trying to figure out like how to defend and all this stuff. I quit. But it's fun.
They should call it Madden. They should call it Furious.
Yeah. Why?
Because I get more than mad, dude. It's not. Yeah, Madden's a lot of fun, but man, I've suffered some heartbreaks in that. I'm like, I can't go through this, dude.
Yeah.
This game, like, I love video games. I play a ton of games, but that game is relentless, man.
Remember Pinky's Pizza?
Oh yeah.
They used to play the mana game.
Yeah.
In the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our thing back in the day with our
Blitz.
Or Blitz. Is that what it was?
Blitz.
Yeah, Blitz. Yeah. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Blitz.
Yeah, that was fun. Like just go there for lunch.
Yeah.
Eat a pizza, play some Blitz, and then go back to school.
Yeah. So when I was there, everybody would go play Rush 2049. So they had that was a racing game, and then I would play Tekken Tag, and that was the one.
Dude, tell me. We would all play that as well.
Yeah.
There was 2 brothers, 2 Asian kids.
Yep.
And they would take one side, and then we would all fucking line up on the other side, and they would just like beat everybody.
No, it was an Asian dude and a white dude.
Oh, really?
And there was 2 of them. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah. And one of the kids, man, that dude, yeah. Man, we would talk so much shit to him, and he would just smash you in that game. But it was 2 of them. You're right, and then everybody would line up, dude, and they would just rotate because they were buddies, so they they practice each other or whatever. But they would just clean house.
Yeah,
You're like, all right, what am I gonna do with my 50 cents today? Like, yeah, I loved it, dude. Pinky's Pizza. That's
Yeah.
another thing. Like, arcades.
Yeah.
Arcades are like Starbase was like a thing. Starbase is gone.
Starbase.
Starbase was an arcade downtown on the back end of Santa Fe, and then like, do you remember Aladdin's Castle at the mall at
No.
Northgate?
It was called Time Out.
Oh no! Before
Oh.
before that, it was Aladdin's Castle, and then it was Time
Oh.
Out after. Time Out was okay,
okay.
but like Aladdin's Castle was pretty cool.
Huh.
So yeah, you go to the arcade and play, and that's cool too because, I mean, you have like $1, right? You'd have like four lives. You
Exactly.
Have like you had 4 quarters, and that's all you had. Dude.
Exactly.
So you're like, what game am I gonna play, and how long am I gonna survive here? And
Yeah,
that was like a thing. And
yeah. You would really think about like what game will like give you the longest time and for you to
Right.
enjoy it and stuff. Yeah.
Right, because if you get scraped,
What game am I good at here?
Yeah, yeah. So Tekken was good, man. Tekken was a lot of fun. Yeah, but Blitz was cool too. 64 came back like big time in college. A lot of people had N64s. If you went into like a random household, a lot of people had N64 and people played Blitz religiously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a neighbor that he had a 64, and I would always go to his house too.
Yeah.
That and what was the Mario Kart?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those two were
Mario Kart. Yeah, Mario Kart's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got a Super Nintendo at the house.
No way.
Yeah, I got like Donkey Kong and
Like, is it like original Nintendo or like one of those like
no,
the
Super
ones
Nintendo, the second one, with the controllers that they have 4 buttons on it instead of 2.
Yeah, but is it original or is
Oh,
it one
yeah,
of the
yeah.
ones that are
Oh,
like
see, yeah.
integrated?
No, it's
Okay.
original. I
Oh,
went
cool.
to a hobby shop and spent too much on it. Like, I got it like 10 years ago, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a regular Super Nintendo.
That's dope.
Yeah, and they got the games. It's crazy how expensive they are now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like a niche market, It's just,
Of course, yeah.
It's crazy. So
People are willing to pay. It brings them childhood memories and stuff,
dude,
and they want that back.
nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia. That's what I mean.
Nostalgia
Yeah.
is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good. Played that a little bit. And turns out my lady is like a professional Super Mario player.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. She's like, jump up here, hit that, go here, go into the Star World, and you're like, what? Do you remember?
I'm pretty good at that game too. I know like a lot of what do you call?
Yeah, the shortcuts.
Yeah,
and
shortcuts. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you remember Game Shark?
Nope.
Oh yeah. Do you remember game reviews? Like you would have to buy a book to
Oh yeah.
figure out how to get through a game
Mhm.
before the internet.
Yeah.
You would go to the game shop and like buy a tutorial guide on like how to do things. Yeah, she's like an almanac in that sense. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So we had a lot of fun in the nostalgia playing that for a minute.
I'm sure you enjoy it more than your kids.
What?
Like the game, like the Nintendo games.
Yeah, that's up for debate. They played it a little bit.
Oh really? Do you enjoy it or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, video games are fun, and it's nostalgia too. So it's also like they're starting out their process there, so they'll always remember it's childhood memories. So it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I'm just saying, like they're how old are your kids?
7. Well, about to be 7, about to be 5, and almost 2.
Yeah, because the quality of today's games are much different than
Yeah.
what we played.
Yeah, no, they're cool. It's still fun,
Okay,
something
okay.
new and exciting. Like
Got it.
they're not completely, immersed in like VR headsets, so it hasn't
Okay.
lost its like appeal yet.
Okay.
Still something new to them. So
Got
it's cool. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to keep it on the back burner, so it's still like exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, you watch a '90s movie and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I was in high school and I was watching Alien for the first time.
Uh-huh.
And my mom came home. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm watching Alien. She's like, oh, are you all right? And I was like, what? She's like, are you all right? Like, that movie's scary. And I was like, this movie is not scary, But it was like a thing for her. You could tell, like, when that movie came out, it was significant,
Yeah.
But it's just, you get kind of numb to things now with CGI. You can create anything.
Yeah.
Here's another movie to the list. You ever see Hugo? Hugo is really cool because it studies film through film. So it's like this kid, he lives in a clock tower, and like it's this whole story, but it evolves into where he starts to see films like motion pictures for the first time, and it's like people how they're trying to create motion pictures, and it goes into it, and like one of the first moving pictures was a train, I guess, and like people in the theater thought like the train was gonna hit them, because they had never seen a moving picture before.
Okay.
Right? It's kind of like a different experience. I think about that now, and you're like, somebody from back in time watched Transformers, dude, they would die in the theater. Like, they just have a heart attack and it'd be over.
Yeah, of course.
It's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
it's too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just in a different level of translation right now with like all the things that we're experiencing.
Yeah.
It's different. So see.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, like 10, 20 years from now, Transformers is gonna be like nothing compared to what's to come.
And that was state of the art.
Yeah.
Like, that was something else.
I just went to what's it called? What is this called? Universal Studios.
Yeah. How was that?
It was fun, dude. I've always wanted to go to the Transformers. Have you done that?
No, I haven't done that.
Yeah. It was awesome, dude. It was like it was really cool because all my friends have gone, and it's like what 10 years old. The what's it called? The not game, the show or whatever it's called.
Okay.
And I really liked it. It's like 3D and like the graphics are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. We got to check that out. We have yet to go to Disneyland or Universal Studios.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll go.
Yeah, we just went to Universal's I think a year ago, and I had never gone, so it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see, behind the scenes. I went when I was a kid. I went to the set or a part of the set of. Do you remember the movie Small Soldiers?
I love that movie, dude.
Yeah, so it was like the house was like blown up, and they still had that. It's like, whoa, what is good for? That movie's sick, dude. And so like when they blow up the garage, like that scene, like that's where we went, and they had like Dennis Leary's chair there, and I thought it was cool sitting in that chair.
Nice.
Yeah, that was way back when.
That's cool. Hey, if you want to stop this anytime, just let me know, okay? If you gotta go or whatever.
No, I'm good, man.
Yeah. The ride, they take you on a 60-minute ride where they tell you where they made the movies and stuff. That was pretty cool too.
Did you see? Is Jaws still a part of that?
No. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Go
yeah,
through
yeah.
like the water, it's like the music plays, and then it comes up. Yeah. So that's cool. I don't know. I haven't seen that in a while, but yeah, I want to go check that out.
Yeah, that was fun for two reasons, or nice for two reasons. Because of the whole story that they tell you, and I had to rest, so I was able to sit down because you're walking all day and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was nice to sit down and rest for a second.
Your dogs will be barking, dude. You're walking like that.
Yeah.
It's it's a lot. So
yeah.
We haven't cracked the Disney trip yet. We went to Legoland. Legoland was a lot of fun. So they had like this Ninjago set. So you go into like old school Japan, and it's all Ninjago, and then you go in there, and there's this 3D virtual ride where you interact and you do like karate chops, and that sends like ninja stars at bad guys and stuff. So we rode that a couple times.
Really?
It was pretty fun.
Cool.
Yeah, and Legoland's cool because it's not as packed as Disneyland. It's
it's not?
No, it's kind of low key. It's like you can go there and it's.
Did you guys fly out there or drove?
No, we flew out there.
Cause it's like 12 hours, right, or something like that.
Yeah, it's a long time in the car with the little ones. So
yeah.
I mean, we've been on long road trips with them before, but I mean, we flew out there, and it's fun to fly, and the kids like it. So yeah, we flew and then rented a car and got out there.
Yeah, plus it could get pretty hectic with little kids. Like, they only have so much time to like, stay calm or whatever,
Yeah.
12 hours or whatever the time is. It's pretty long for a small kid.
Yeah, but I mean, they're excited, so you let them run, and so now it's just a matter of like making good experiences for them. So
yeah.
Where's your guys' next trip?
I don't know.
Okay.
We want to go to probably Disneyland for the summer.
Yeah.
I like to drive at night.
Oh,
That way,
nice.
like they sleep while I'm driving.
It's the
So
best
when they
time.
wake up, we're like right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love driving at night or like
I love
early
it
in the
too.
morning because nobody's on the road. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, this is how it's supposed to be.
yeah, and then like you get to see the
Oh, it's
sunrise.
the best.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I like that a lot, man.
yeah.
That's cool. That's a good trip. A couple
So yeah,
months.
probably Disney or I don't know.
Yeah, San Diego was cool. I mean, we went out there and then went to the zoo too. So if you're into that, the zoo was pretty cool.
That's a pretty big zoo, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we wanted to do Legoland a couple of years ago, but then we decided to go to Disney instead.
yeah. Legoland's got a water park now,
Hmm.
which is kind of cool. It was closed when we were there, so we'll have to go back and check it out.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, but the zoo was cool, and there's a lot of good food out there. You know, obviously you got the beach and such. So it's a
What's
good.
your next trip, family trip? Do you guys have anything in plan or?
Don't tell the littles. We're going to Hawaii.
No way.
Yeah, yeah, we're going to
Nice.
Hawaii. The boys and I are all born in May. Well, two of my sons are born in May, as I am. So instead of having a bunch of birthday parties, we're trying to go on trips right now for as long as boys are with it. So we're gonna go to Hawaii. We
Okay.
just booked that.
Have you been to Hawaii or
Yeah,
not?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We took them about a year ago. So
Okay.
we're gonna go back. We're gonna go to Kauai this time. I've never been to Kauai. We went to Maui last time.
Okay.
So fortunate enough to get out there.
So this is your second time going, or
Yeah.
have you? Okay.
Yeah, no, I've been a couple times. This will be, yeah, I've been a couple times, but with the family, this will be the second time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so big trip for the family. Really excited for that.
Why Hawaii?
The boys enjoyed it the first time,
Okay.
and Kauai has a Disney themed resort, and so we're just gonna go check that out. And it's not like the boys are too crazy, like Disney fanatics or anything, but it's just like it's a cool theme for them.
Okay.
We went to the Great Wolf Lodge. You're familiar with the Great Wolf Lodge?
Nope.
Great Wolf Lodge is like a kids hotel, so it's got this like interactive environment where you go around with a wand and you can like point it at different things, and there's a quest that you have to complete, and there's like mini golf and a water park and like candy shops and bowling alleys and pizza and like all this stuff, and it's all for kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's kids hotels are pretty cool, right now because they're all young.
Yeah,
So
of course. Yeah.
so hopefully, no real reason. I mean, just to get out of Dodge and
Okay.
relax and Pauhana with the family and just enjoy some birthday time. So
How long are you going for?
a week,
A week?
yeah, go for a week.
Yeah, I think if you're going to Hawaii, it's a week minimum. Cause
Yeah, I mean it's a 6 hour flight
Yeah.
almost, and then I mean if you go anywhere, you kind of want to immerse yourself in it, right?
Yeah, true.
Because I mean, but do what you can,
Yeah.
get out. When I graduated, did you have Mr. Temple? Mr. Temple.
It rings a bell.
Mr. Temple was a teacher, and he was like the commencement speaker in high school, and he said something that was pretty poignant. And he goes, "You'll never learn so much about yourself or about others as when you travel. So go out and try to see what other life is like. So it's good to anytime you can to travel. You know, calling this a thought process podcast, that's probably one of the best things you can do for yourself is
Yeah.
like travel anywhere. Just get out of like what's normal to you and like learn a different way.
Yeah.
It's refreshing. It'll like restart your consciousness, and you can be like, oh, okay, the world's bigger than what I previously imagined.
Yeah.
So I mean, Hawaii's not too far out there, but we're gonna go. So excited for that.
Have you traveled anywhere outside of the U.S.?
Yeah, I've been to Mexico a couple times. I've been to Costa Rica, been to Jamaica, and then I went to France too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I skipped around a little bit. So it's good to get out there. It's different paces of life, different cultures, different foods, different vibes. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, you get to learn, like you said, cultures and
Yeah,
food is different, and you gotta, try a little bit of everything.
yeah, and it's just it's good to get out and see the world. It's a small world after all, but it's also a big world. So
Yeah.
like you got to go explore it while you can.
Do you like keep in touch with people that you met, or
No,
no?
no. I hope to in the future for sure. I mean, like meeting cool people is like one of the greatest things in life, right?
Yeah.
So, So yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, for sure. But
Yeah.
no, no. Right now, just really focus on the family, and like other families that have young families.
I mean, it's different, once you travel, by yourself when you're single or whatever, and then when you
Yeah,
travel with family, it's
yeah,
total different mentality, different
yeah,
priorities.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
different timeline too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's it. So that's the trip. Bigger picture, like we're gonna go out. We got to get to Aurora Borealis. That's something we want to do. See the Northern Lights.
Dude, my friend just went there and he posted a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
It looked beautiful.
Where'd you go?
Somewhere in Alaska, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. As long as you get up, kind of in that hemisphere, there's a bunch of different places you can see it.
So where is it you're going again?
We're going to Hawaii, but
No.
Aurora Borealis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where you can go to. You can go to like Norway. You can go to Alaska. There's some states that you can see it in the U.S. So I haven't picked a spot yet, but it's like a focal point for the family to get out there because we want to check that out. It seems pretty cool.
Yeah, he posted a lot of videos where like he did the whole thing. He got on a sleigh with like the wolves and all this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It was pretty.
Yeah,
it looked like a really cool experience.
Yeah, yeah. To go. I want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go mushing or something.
What was that?
I don't know what they call it when you with the dogs on the sled.
Oh, is that what it's called?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah. It looks that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna get out there. So that's a trip. And then we'll see where the boys want to go. So just trying to make it happen.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you're doing it for your kids,
Yeah.
So they gotta enjoy the whole trip as well.
Yeah, get out and see the world, man. It's bigger than we expect.
True.
So it's good. And then like I said, meeting people. Some of the best conversations I've ever had are in transit, right? Either like on a train or on a plane or just in a random scenario with somebody I'll probably never interact with again.
True.
Just like in a confined space with them for X amount of time, have a conversation about whatever, and then on your way. So it's good. I think traveling is really good for the mind too. Like you said, when you drive at night, like it's a good thought process there.
Yeah.
You're in between. The transition is a good place because like you're thinking about where you're going. You can't wait to get there. It's a new destination, so you're thinking in a different space. So it's always good to embrace that when you can.
Yeah. True. Very true. Going back to school, what middle school did he go to?
Davidson.
Oh, really?
Is there another one? Yeah.
I mean, there's like Laurel Dale. There's Coleman.
I know.
There's
I went to. What about you? Did you go to Davidson?
I did go to Davidson. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Davidson. Yeah. Yeah, spring spectacular and all that. After school gymnastics.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the principal's name when you were there? Do you remember? No.
No, I remember Mr. Maroff, and I do not remember the principal's name. It changed. There was two principals when I was there, and I was in his office too, and I don't remember.
I think it was Mr. Maroff. I was in his office plenty of times too.
Yeah, but he wasn't the actual principal.
Oh, he
Like
wasn't?
the vice principal or something.
Oh, okay,
he was the one that like if you got in trouble, you went to Maroff's office.
Oh, okay.
So I was there a lot, but no, I actually went to the principal's office. I forget his name though. But yeah, I was there too.
Okay.
That's when I started to be a knucklehead. Was in from like 5th grade on, and then in middle school I was in advanced math and like doing pretty good in school. But that's where also it was like, oh, now I can have fun here, So yeah, Davidson was a good time. I fought a lot of Davidson though too. That was kind of yeah. In the gym, like in the locker room. Before you go out and like sit on the numbers, like we fight all the time.
Really?
Yeah. And Davidson was cool, man.
Did you fight because you like to fight, or they bullied you, or
no? Because of like bullies. No, I never wanted to fight. But, like people would try to pick on me or one of my friends or something. So, like, fight, stupid.
Dude. So I was a newcomer.
Yeah.
During that time.
And
I remember my first day. There was like a soda machine right in front of school, like right in front of the gym.
Yeah.
And there was this big dude, and I wanted to get a soda. Had a $5 bill,
Yeah.
and he just comes up to me. He's like, "Give me your money."
Yeah.
Like just like that, dude. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So I just put my money back and like started walking away. But it was just funny because I barely spoke English, and I was like scared. I'm like, "Am I gonna get my
Yeah.
ass whooped right now?" He was
Yeah.
like really big and stuff.
Yeah.
But Davidson does like the first thing that comes up to my mind. My
Yeah.
$5 bill.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was little, and you know, did you have the Davidson photo? Do you know the big horizontal photo
Yeah.
with the whole class?
Yeah.
Do you have that?
I don't have it with me, but I did take
But
a
you
picture.
know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right? So like the tallest are in the back,
Yeah.
right? I'm dead smack front center.
No way.
Right? Yeah, right.
That's
So
funny.
like right there in that photo. But anyways, I was little, so I got, you know, there's a lot of bullies around, so I fought a lot. But I remember one of the things at Davidson, I started playing dice for whatever reason, and I started to win like a couple dollars here and there, and you know, I started to win like money, and I was either winning for like a week or two, and then eventually I was in 6th grade, and eventually there was a big essay who was in 8th grade, and then I beat him in dice. And I was like, "Yo, give me my money." And he's like, "What money?" And he like
No
looked at
way.
me, and he was like 3 times my size. And I was like, "Oh, well, there goes my gambling career." You know, yeah. So
That's funny.
it was different. It was different. So yeah, Davidson was cool though. You know, after school gymnastics was a thing because they didn't have sports. You know, they had steel pans. I played steel pans there.
Okay.
Yeah. But after school gymnastics was so much fun. I
Yeah.
love that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever do it?
I did it like during PE class and stuff.
Oh no, but after school
After
gymnastics
no.
was like a program that you get
Yeah,
involved with. And
I used to watch people do it, but I never did
yeah,
it.
they had like the gym ropes that would go all the way to the ceiling, and then like
I remember vividly, yeah.
because they had all the big mats, and you
Yeah.
could go on like the corner of the bleachers and like swing out, and then like do a backflip into the mat like that. Yeah, it was a riot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Did you have a wood shop,
Yeah, I had wood shop.
Mr. What was his name? Rudheisen?
Mr. Rudheisen.
Yeah.
Mr. Rudheisen hated me, dude.
Really?
Mr. Rudheisen would sit me. He would sit me in the front of the class, and I would sit behind him. He put me on a stool behind him.
Why?
Just because I was
horsing around.
I don't know what I was doing. You know, you had the big wood tables, and like I don't know what I was doing, man. and
Oh my god.
so yeah, I had Rudheisen's class.
I got in trouble with them once because I had a laser,
Yeah,
but it was shaped like like a grenade.
yeah,
And I would
yeah,
like point it and stuff.
yeah.
And I think I got suspended just because, you know, like,
Yeah, you can't have a laser pointer in school.
especially if it looked like a fucking grenade.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I got suspended. It was just
That's
funny.
funny, man. Yeah. You made the wood box in this class?
I did with the little mirror and stuff.
Yeah. So we made that, and they had like the sandblaster in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his class was cool. I hope that there's more of those classes. I hear a lot of programs are getting cut nowadays.
Yeah.
Like auto shop is gone, metal shop, wood shop. Like I had all those in. I had wood shop in middle school, but then in high school, I was fortunate enough to have auto shop and metal shop, and like, people learn different styles. So if you're like a tactile learner, like hands on, like you got to be in those classes.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, I could be like a mechanical engineer. I could be, I could be a welder, right? Or just whatever. So when they cut those opportunities, it's too bad. But it's also, those classes cause the most trouble as well because you have like the most freedom. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had Mr. Oliver in metal shop. That was a crazy class. You ever have that class?
No.
Yeah. Mr. Oliver. That was a good time. That was my freshman year. So hopefully these programs come back for kids because like now it's like music or sports, right? But there has to be more than that.
True.
So
I agree.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Davidson looks different. You've seen it? No?
Well, I saw it when he went to Davidson a couple of years ago.
Yeah. It had the
very
two
different.
story. It had 2 stories
Yeah.
when you were there. Yeah, because that was never the thing. And like at the front, you would sit on the sign and like you'd be out there, and then like Hostess was across the street.
Wait, what was across the street?
Hostess. You don't remember that? Like the Twinkie company.
I don't recall. I just remember.
So yeah, if you went up a block and then to the left, Hostess was right there,
Huh.
and then they had the factory, and then they had a little storefront, and you can get like 2 bags of candy, 2 for $1, and you could get like whatever you wanted, and they had like all Twinkies and everything
I
else.
don't remember
So
that.
all the kids were there, and you'd have to put your backpack at the door, and then you could go
Oh,
in
really?
and you could like buy.
Kids would steal candy and stuff.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. So like, hold on. And it's like 200 kids like descending on like the sugar factory, you know?
Yeah.
So you're like, all right. Yeah. Yeah. So you never went there, huh?
No.
That's interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, hostess was there. Tried to get $1 and make something happen.
How about elementary? What school did you go to?
I went to Glenwood,
Okay.
which is in San Rafael.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a cool school. It's in a neighborhood back there, off Point San Pedro. So it's a cool little community. So I went there. That was a good school. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so I went to those schools, and then went to Chico for college.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, studied English and psychology.
You like psychology?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just essentially, it's just like how you think and like interactions and like what drives you. So yeah, it's a compelling subject for sure. But I'm kind of curious in a lot of different regards. So the longer I was in college, I was like, dude, I could study a lot of things. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of narrow it down and go for something, because if you have the right professor, I think almost anything is interesting, right? It's kind of like who's teaching you. So I had some good psych professors, and I was like, this is where I want to go. And then I had some really great English professors, like, I need to go this way, you know? So I graduated, got that done, and I think I'm done with school now. Now I just get to be the teacher.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Teach my boys, you know?
True.
You
Yeah.
know how it is.
Because you got to teach them to, grow up the right way and stuff, Be there for them or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. So, so that's it. So we're coming up on birthday season here, and we're going to go on the trip. So, it's nice. It's a good time.
So 3 birthdays in 1 month, huh?
3 birthdays in 1 month, and then another one a couple months before. So yeah,
Okay.
it's a busy season for
Cool.
sure. So yeah, we're trying to just go on trips for now, because eventually once they get older, they're going to want to hang with their buddies and have their own parties.
That's very true, yeah.
And we were doing that the first couple of years, but you're like, it's a lot, and it's kind of the same thing. They've got like similar friend groups, so like might as well just go on trips.
But that's just the smarter way to do it, because you get to enjoy your family and spend all this money instead of spending money on 5 different parties or whatever.
Right.
You spend all this money on a cool
trip,
family trip.
Yeah, because it's memories at the end.
Exactly.
Of the day, right?
Yep.
So that's what it is. And like, birthday parties are cool, but it's a better way to go. So hopefully that'll be the tradition, and we just keep that running. For as long as we'll go with it. But it's their world, man. We're just here. Like I said, we're tour guides, So yeah. So that's how it is. I think of parenting like a lighthouse. Like you'd be out there in the water, the ships, and you have the guiding light of like, hey, this is home. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it is. It's like, hey, I just want to know this is the staple. This is home. Everything good?
Did it turn off? Yeah. Is it dead? Or just use the other two? Yeah. Sorry, I was.
No, it's all good, man.
Trying to figure out what he was doing there.
Yeah, makes sense, man. It's cool. I like the setup here, man. It's nice.
Yeah, so how to buy these 2 camcorders? Because I used to use my DSLR cameras, and every 10 minutes I had to he had to get up and turn them on again.
Yeah.
These just run until they die, kind of like what that one did right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You remember cameras came up, before these things, where it's every device ever. Remember that math teachers back in the day were like, hey, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket. You're like, yeah. But speaking about cameras, I remember I got a camera, and then you got to get the different tapes for it, and it's so cool. And then you like film a video, and you're like, how do you translate this into different formats? And now everything's just like in a smart device.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, but
yeah, the big cameras with the VHS, and then like the other ones with like the smaller tape.
Yeah.
Now everything's like digital. Those are connected to the computer, and that's it.
Speaking about that, like one of my best friends growing up, dude, his dad would come through with the rocket launcher, like like the gigantic cameras, the old ones, that were way too big for who knows why. And he would be like, hey, how's dinner? And he would like always, anytime you go to the house, he was trying to film like, videos of just like everything that's happening.
Wow, he was like the first vlogger.
Yeah, so he's just got VHS tapes galore somewhere.
Damn,
so
that's
hopefully
crazy.
those get broken out one day. We can see what's going on. But yeah, that's just it's cool to see the new technology. You got a nice setup here. So
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
What's next for the podcast? What do you have? You got a whole season lined up? You going day to day?
Well, I try to. So, Raquel
Yeah.
was the first person I reached out to,
Yeah.
and then the next week I have 3 podcasts already, booked.
Nice.
So Saturday I have this girl. Her name is Mame.
Okay.
I went to school with her. She has her own podcast, so we'll talk about that.
Yep.
And then we'll head out to Bakersfield. Then we head out to Bakersfield Saturday night. We get there, rest. Sunday we will be recording a podcast with this music group.
Okay.
They sing Mexican music and stuff. They do covers. They have their own music or songs.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that Sunday. Once we're done with that, my friend he started his own food truck business. He makes Chinese food.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're Mexican. The restaurant's called Los Mexicanos Chinos.
Oh, yeah.
No, Los Chinos Mexicanos. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
So they're like the Chinese Mexicans because they're
Yeah,
Mexican and they cook Chinese food.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I will be interviewing them or making a podcast with them on Monday.
Yeah.
So I have a busy weekend next weekend.
Yeah.
So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday I have podcasts.
That's cool. So you're doing a mobile podcast in Bakersfield.
Well, the exception just because they can't really come this way, so I'm gonna head over there and stuff.
Okay.
So I booked an Airbnb.
Nice.
I'm gonna set it up and stuff, and then record their podcast over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where do you put this out?
So YouTube, Spotify, and then I make reels for Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
And TikTok.
Yeah. Nice. That's
So
awesome.
AI is fucking crazy right now. It's
Right.
very convenient. So I started to use AI for the candles.
Uh-huh.
I was really skeptical because I'm like, I don't really want to, use AI and stuff, but it's saves a lot of time, dude.
Yeah.
I've done what's it called, descriptions for certain things using AI.
Yeah.
I use this thing called Opus AI.
Okay.
Where I upload the video and it'll break it down for me. So that saves me a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because keep in mind that once we're done with the podcast, the episode, I have to go and I try not to edit the whole thing just because I want it to look as natural as possible.
Sure.
The only things I do is I have to like look for clips throughout the whole episode. So if this episode, how long has it been? No way. Holy shit.
No
So
time,
imagine
yeah.
2 hours. I gotta like go back and like see 2 hours of clips and see
Yeah.
what I need to use as clips. It's just very time consuming. So I use that Opus AI and that'll find clips for me. And then I'll just get the clips and I'll upload them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the whole episode will be uploaded on YouTube and Spotify.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool. A
Yeah.
podcast is the way to go because you cut out the middleman of everything. There's no marketing if you don't want. So you can just have a real conversation about anything, so whatever podcast, whatever you're into, you can find a podcast about it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty cool day where there's no controlled narrative anymore. It's direct source to the people.
Yeah. And that's another thing that I'm trying to figure out because a lot of people tell me like to find a niche and stick to it.
Yeah. Or not.
But I don't really want to because I want every episode to be unique. We're talking to you, we're getting to know you, what you're about and stuff. And then it'll be the same concept.
Yeah.
But, next week it'll be different. It'll be a different person.
Right.
They're not going to be doing paintball or fucking Jiu Jitsu. They'll be doing other stuff. And then we'll get to know them for who they are and hear their thought process on why they do what they do. That's kind of my whole concept. I just don't know how to like really narrow it down so people understand what the podcast is about.
you just got to get enough popularity behind it, and then have hot topics for the different subjects that you're gonna run. Like, eventually you could say, hey, this is like a personal, this is a personal session, right? And then this one's gonna be like a business review. This is this is I don't know, whatever you want to have, right? If you have the different buckets you can put things in, then people can join when they want. But my 2 cents, I would go interview everybody for every reason. I mean, yeah, you can get niche, but like, or you could have conversation, because why limit yourself?
Yeah, true.
Right. Everybody's interesting. Like, you can get sound bites off anybody, right? They'll give you 2 cents, and then you can just compile that and put it together.
Yeah, true.
And then you can have like the highlight reel of 2024 or whatever, and then go from there.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you limit yourself, then you're also going to miss out on like what are you going to get? You're going to get like Mandarin chicken tacos, like some sweet and sour carnitas. Like, that food sounds amazing. You know what I mean? And if you didn't want to, meet with the food truck, then you wouldn't have that podcast, right?
Yeah, true.
So like, I would talk to everybody that's interesting, and see where it goes.
True. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So so far I just have all of these, you and the other 3 podcasts
Nice.
booked, and then I'll keep on searching for people out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's plenty of people to talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally you could talk to Nevada boxing. You know what I mean?
I've thought about that. Yeah, I did kind of run it by her.
Yeah.
When I was, cause my warehouse was like right under that. Yeah. So that's where I was doing the podcast, and that's how I met her, and she had me interview. The first interviews were 2 of her boxers.
Yeah.
They were like debuting their boxing career and stuff.
Yeah, you interviewed Zach and Isaiah from North Bay.
Yeah, I also did them. I didn't do them. Yeah. I interviewed them. Yeah,
I understand. Yeah. You should, shout outs to Hyder, dude. You should interview Hyder.
Dude, I wanted to get Hyder on the podcast. I messaged him and stuff right before his
debut.
Yeah, not this past like debut career, but
Contender.
Like the Contender. And he was like, I'm busy, let me get back to you, and he never did, bro.
I'll just keep blowing him up,
I get
dude.
him. He's just like, over the period of 2 days, he got over 32,000 followers.
Is that
like
what happened?
Yeah,
good for
dude.
him, man.
Yeah,
solid, dude. What a stud.
Yeah,
That was amazing, man.
But I would love to have him on the podcast, because I mean, I went to go watch one of his fights when he was with Bellator.
Yeah.
Nice. Over in SAP Center, I think it was.
Yep.
And I've followed his fights, like all the interviews that he does and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from the Bay Area and stuff, so I would like to have him. I'll give him another shout. I'll reach out to him and see what happens.
That's so cool to watch a hometown hero.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Did he meet him at North Bay, or have you met him before? Or?
I know a lot of people that know him. He's 2 years younger than I.
Yeah.
So I don't know Hyder that well personally.
Yeah.
We've interacted a couple times, but I just, like, my whole friend group is cool with him. So
yeah, same here. People that I went to school with, went to school with them. I think he's like what, a year, 2 years.
Yeah, he's 2 years younger than I.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's probably 08, I think.
No, because I was 08. He was, I think,
09 maybe.
09.
I don't know. Hit him up, dude. Get him on here. Hyder, come over, man.
It would be dope, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to watch. Anybody progress. It's a good time. I'm in my mid-30s now, and it's really cool to watch my friends that have evolved to have their own businesses and watch their ideas thrive and just become successful in whatever lane that they chose to follow. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this time. Friends that launch clothing brands or barber shops or, different things, man.
Yeah, and that's something that I've noticed with you guys. You guys are very supportive, with people you guys know and stuff. Yeah.
Community.
Yeah.
My lady's really good at that. Shout out to Raquel. It's all about the community. It's about the network and who you know. And it's crazy. so you can go out and you can purchase something and support a big business, right? Or you can go support a local business.
Yeah.
Like invest in your friends, invest in their dreams, their initiatives, support the people around you, because that's what it's all about.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't be a naysayer. Don't reflect upon people if you don't think you have the potential to do something. Make sure not to project that negativity or that doubt upon somebody else. Give them inspiration and hope and belief, and help them cultivate your ideas and their ideas if you believe in them, because that's what it's all about. You know?
True.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, all local businesses, you know, restaurants, whatever. It's good. So yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
The
and then sometimes,
representation.
if you can't really, support, by buying stuff, you could always, like a simple shout out on Instagram goes a long way, dude.
Yeah, repost, because
Yeah.
then you introduce, but you're just connecting the dots.
Yeah.
Everybody is on these devices all the time, and you're like, hey, here's what's relative to me. Here's what's important. Here's what I'm gonna share. You know, so that's, and it's literally free.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so many people hit me up and they're like, oh, you're gonna be on the podcast. I'm like, this is amazing. You know, so it's just cool to have people come out of the woodworks and,
Yeah.
and just, we're social creatures, so let's keep that conversation going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's amazing, dude. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. The first couple episodes I did, I see him and I'm like, oh my god, it's so cringy, dude. Because I'm like, it was my first episodes. I did a lot of pauses. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
still working on speaking and stuff, but like I did a lot of pauses, a lot of
Sure.
a lot of buts and stuff. you
Oh
know?
yeah,
And I just feel like I'm slowly getting better and stuff,
100%.
But I really hope to keep on going and getting more people here and getting more comfortable with the cameras, with people and stuff,
Yeah,
and eventually have a bigger podcast.
you'll get there. It's, I tell my sons, it's persistence.
Yeah.
You keep showing up, there's no way that you won't win. You just got to keep showing up and you keep putting in the work. And you're your own worst self-critic, right? I'll watch the footage on this and I'll be like, I said what? I did what? You know what I mean? So, but it's all about evolution, growth, and progression.
True.
So just keep at it.
Yeah.
Keep chipping away, and you're gonna get proficient. You'll be a pro in no time. So tomorrow, you know what I mean? It's all tomorrow. What's next?
Exactly.
What's next?
Yep.
What's next?
Exactly.
I mean, life is a series of the present moment, right? It's a gift, right, that we have. But tomorrow, focus on next. What's next? What's next? And just evolve naturally in that regard.
Yeah.
Give yourself props when you can too. So
True.
that's what it is ultimately about. So, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. This is the first podcast I've been on. Hopefully, first of many, man. So
yeah, dude, and we could do this another time if you want.
Oh, I'm here for it.
We have more topics. We have more.
Yeah.
Maybe when you come back from Hawaii.
Yep.
We hear your experience.
Yeah, I got. I'll have different things to bring to the table. Like I said, I got some tournaments coming up. We got the trip coming up. Might have some fights. So a lot of things in the works. So it's all good. And then gotta play some FIFA. We got some gambling to happen. It's
Yeah,
all
let's
good.
do it, dude.
It's
I'm
all
down.
good.
I didn't know you were a FIFA.
Yeah. Well,
fan.
I used to. I haven't played recently, but yeah, I always loved it, man. It's a good thing. So, but again, thank you for having me, and it's awesome to see you're doing this, and it's a family business. You're teaching your son. You're learning all different media right now. You're learning a currency that exists that's pretty much invaluable, right?
Yeah.
Like here's a business structure for you, and you can get good at video editing and finding out whatever you need to do, and you got a platform to do it, and you're building a platform for him to express whatever with his network as well, right?
True,
so
yeah.
it's like generations.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's cool. So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I wanted to gift something to you guys because there's a thing. If you think about royalty in history, if you think about the Indians, you have a headdress. If you think about kings, they have a crown, right? I wear a baseball cap. Like there's something about having style at the top of your head, being regal and royal, right? Now, where I'm going with this is in paintball, everybody's wearing a mask, right? So if you don't know and you don't see somebody, you're like, I don't know who that is, right? Everybody that's playing paintball knows who that is, right? But the thing that distinguishes all people is their headband. That's like your signature thing, right? That's above the goggles. That's what you can see, right? So there's good brothers locally. They're from a team called Dynasty, which is like, for all intents and purposes, that's like the Bulls of paintball, like, Chicago Bulls, like
Yeah.
the best team, right? So they understand best. And one of the goats of paintball is this guy, Oliver Lang, call him Ollie Lang. He moved to Bali and started creating this clothing line called Hormesis. And Hormesis is this is a working definition, but it's, if you go through a little bit of pain, then you will evolve through that process. So that's where like that name comes from. And they created a clothing line from natural fabrics and dyes in Bali. So they create all these headbands and clothing, and then they send them back, right? So since you guys played, I want to extend a token of my appreciation and give you guys a crown. This is, they call it a crown, but this is a headband. So in case you get back out to the field, you got some cool style and just a good token. So that's for you right there.
Oh, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We'll
Yeah.
definitely have to get back out there now for sure.
Yeah, you gotta check that thing out. So there's a cool, like,
Can I open it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, do your thing. So there's like a mantra in there. So that's a box, and that's a headband there. So you can pull that out of the sleeve. Yeah. So that's a community king band. So what they did, these guys, they created this Hormesis community, and then they voted people that are like good contributors in society. And it's cool to watch this community, because paintball was like considered a violent sport.
Okay.
And now you got all these people coming together in this community, based through style. So there you have it, man. You got yourself a piece. So if you guys ever play again, you can rock it. But also, like, if you want to represent that on the podcast, it'd be pretty dope too.
Hey, appreciate it. Shout out to what's it called? Hormesis?
Hormesis, yeah. Hormesis.
This is dope. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. So hopefully you like that. You guys got it.
All right, for sure.
But there it is, man. So that's a token of appreciation, from my family to yours, and that's like a signature thing from paintball. So
yeah, I got a pin too. Ooh,
yeah, there's a bunch of goodies in there. They got really good marketing and product design.
All right, I'll definitely
check it all out. Man.
check it all out.
It's there for you. And then I took Raquel's spot, so that'll be the next one for you. So she's good to go in a couple weeks, so you can have a conversation.
Yeah, I told her to reach out to me as soon as she feels comfortable, and hopefully when she sees your podcast, she'll kind of have an idea on how we do it here.
Yeah, exactly. I look forward to that episode. Thank you for holding down the family while I was able to do this. Appreciate that too. So. Look forward to the next one, man. Keep pressing on, keep learning about the different thought processes, and share that with the world.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I think this is it, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Adios, amigo.